This program is intended for a mature audience. If you are not 18 years old, stop listening and find more age-appropriate content. If you are offended by any content herein, that is your own problem, as you have been warned. Do not try this at home.
Release the Kraken!
Because I am ready, and I will not let this opportunity slip through my fingers. Cup of coffee, man, yeah. Man! Wow, man!
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Oh, I am enjoying this.
Get on with it!
All right, fucking read it, Henry.
Yes, sir.
God, I love that.
Thank you, Henry.
Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Bad Habits Network, Monday Night COVID, Episode 9. This episode is brought to you in part by Ideal Vapor, LLC. Great location up in Portage, Wisconsin. Also online at www.idealvaporllc.com. They have a great shop online, good shipping. Everything is always on time. Boss lady will bust a foot up in your ass if you fuck this up, Henry. Gary, you shouldn't have wrote that down. I wrote it. I read it.
That was me, Henry. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Knowledgeable staff in the facility. Juice adorning the walls by the hundreds. Mods and a Green Plus section for your all CBD needs. Pool tables, couches, lounges, and more. Join us at Ideal Vapor in Portage, Wisconsin. End.
Okay, thank you, Henry. Get out of here and bring Gary back. I think he's playing Dauntless right now.
I'll go fetch him.
Okay, and I swear to God, if you save over my character again and fuck with my items, we are going to have a fucking talk later.
I'll let him know.
All right, cool. All right, guys, well, welcome again to Monday Night COVID, Episode 9. We are 10 away from Monday Night COVID-19, and, the state's opening up tomorrow, so I guess people are getting back to work, so that's exciting, but the COVID still has to be reported on, hence, we are still going to be doing this show every Monday, at least until we get up to 19 episodes, and I'm hoping that by then all of mankind dies and we get to start over.
I really do too, Dalton, because I'm about to I am not looking forward to bartending again and hearing the corona, all the bad virus jokes just before the end of the days that were happening with it. It's gonna be fucking rough.
It's going to be worse than those guys who go to checkout counters and when you're trying to scan something, it doesn't scan and the guy just goes, must be free.
Must be free. Or I made it myself.
All that fucking COVID dad humor.
Die inside every single time. Ha ha ha.
Okay. Coming up next, fucking plague that ends all middle-aged dads who make dad jokes.
Oh, God.
I'm fucked.
It's a sign.
Henry will raise your kids. Wait, is Henry going to be the cause?
Or cure. You never know nowadays because a lot of the causes can be the cure. I mean, look at tobacco. They caused a lot of bullshit, but it also cures a lot of bullshit.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like they use it for Ebola treatments. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Just saying.
What? Tobacco?
Yeah.
Cigarettes?
Tobacco. Like the tobacco plant is actually used as a preliminary ingredient for the treatment of Ebola.
Oh, okay.
Not. I understand. Recently, Bill Cosby killed it.
Yeah.
The Ebola outbreak, but this is a couple of years back, folks.
Yep.
That's the voice of Gary Hammer in the studio.
Hi, sorry. I thought you said something to Henry, and that's why I was coming down.
Oh yeah, no. I actually didn't want you to get farther than my character in Dauntless.
Oh, that's never going to happen.
I
stink at that. I stink at that game.
That's just because you and I never play at the same time, man.
I know.
We boost each other's skills.
I was going to say I'd be noob questing it all. I'd be noob piggybacking you.
I'm really going to have to start up my Dauntless account once again because I remember I got really far. I even souped up the akimbo pistols that you can get in the game. I don't even know what the fuck else you can get.
The Kimbo Slice Pimbo.
My name is Dalton James Pfeiffer. I am your humble host for the night. Also in the studio with us is my co-host, Richie Garcia.
Hello.
Isn't that part of Dirtle Tonut comedy?
Yes, welcome to Dirtle Tonut Takeover.
Dirtle Tonut Takeover.
Dirtle Tonut. I am the donut. Richard is the turtle.
Don't worry, we'll smoke these CBD cigarettes and everything will mellow out, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's address the elephant in the room. Fucking,
I'm not that fat. Fuck off.
I was actually talking about my ego.
Bro.
It's back. It didn't get shattered.
Building up every step of the way every time I get a new match on Tinder.
You got that premium.
That was a joke, but I got the spit. Who's the company that treated us to these today? Lake Country Botanics or Botanics?
You way to Henry that one.
Lake Country Botanics.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'll get him out of the room. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hank Rounder here. My fucking glasses are getting fogged up.
You are just flop sweating so hard right now.
Dude, it is 80 degrees outside, and I am just having a fucking hell of a time. I'm gonna have to get some of that spray that you have in the bathroom, fucking Febreze my tits.
Baby powder your under tit.
That's not Mickey Mouse. That's just tit dirt.
So Lake Country Botanics. They gifted us a little bit of a care package to say, hey, we miss you. Give us a couple months after this, and we'll talk a little bit more turkey. But no, it's Charlie and Angela, specifically Angela, doing Lake Country Botanics, 215 Oakton Avenue, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. You can check them out at lakecountrybotanics.com. They hooked us up with a little bit of a gift package. It's a CBD shop.
Yeah.
It's a hardcore CBD shop.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking... I swear to God, I thought I walked into a dispensary.
Yeah. No, like, I love the setup. It almost looks like the fucking inside of a doctor's office, just how, like, clean and...
Dentisty.
Bright. Yeah. Yeah, like a dentist office. Everything is just so brightly decorated, and
Yeah.
it's so well put together.
Angie knows what she's doing. Charlie's hooking her up with some... Mama got jealous of Daddy's business, apparently, and she got the CBD side.
Well, I mean, Kaylee told us that she was the one who personally, like, put everything together, like, at least the displays.
No, one display. Everything.
display.
Angie did everything but one display. That was Kaylee.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to give credit where credit's due, but
Yeah.
if she didn't do that much, fuck you, Kaylee.
You got it mixed up. It is Angie did a lot of the fucking planning and setting up and shit. Kaylee did one display.
Okay.
She had that one display right front center of the fucking point of sale device.
Okay.
So,
kind of like how when I worked at that RV dealership, I'd do like one display per week, and I'd spend the next month riding on my success from that.
yeah. Except that is one hell of a knowledgeable staff right there.
Yeah.
Talk to Callie herself about a couple CBD things, and it kind of pop quizzed her on a few misconceptions. Just to kind of snake her in there to see if she knew what she was talking about. And
Yeah.
fuck, man, if that girl doesn't know what she's talking about, I'll eat my goddamn hat.
Well, like even my active listening couldn't even catch on to a lot of the shit that she was saying. So she ended up bringing up a lot of interesting shit.
Absolutely, a lot of the misconceptions.
Mm-hmm.
She knows how to dispel a lot of that shit. She comes at you with point on facts.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then one thing that I really
on point facts too, for that matter.
Yeah, on the point. One thing that I really liked about their whole setup is that they even had just like this bookshelf with all this information on CBD. They have all this literature that you can...
Ninja! Sorry.
They have all this stuff that you can that you can take a look at just to increase your own knowledge on it, and it's super interesting because while I'm not much of a stoner like Richard,
Like
I'm
some people.
How you riding that high right now?
Good. I've been high for like 3 months straight, so good.
This is something I didn't know about CBD.
What's up?
It can alleviate menstrual cramps and menopause.
That's good because I've been looking for a way to get rid of that.
Oh, my God.
I've been trying to Google what happens when a man has menstrual cramps. And I just get all I get are fucking joke articles. It's like, this is a serious thing.
And CBD is so natural, it is found in human breast milk.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this little pamphlet is just that they hooked us up with for the studio. It's pretty. Yeah, go ahead. It's pretty fucking cool.
So what you're saying is you can find some quiche.
Bro, it's safe for
in the
pets.
titty milk.
Yeah,
Bro, me and a cat just chilling, baked off our minds. Wouldn't mind that.
Well, the CBD for the cat, the THC for you. You ever give a cat THC?
No.
It's not pretty.
No, what
They turn
happens?
into demon cat.
But they do have CBD products for your pets.
Yes, they do. Wasn't that pretty cool, too?
Yeah. That was really interesting. Like,
And
there
the
was
fat
just-
boy and both of us went nuts right after you're done with this point. After you're done with the pet point. That was pretty fucking cool.
Well, like, I was just kind of going back and forth while you were talking to Kaylee about the whole setup that they have there, and I was just admiring how everything is separated depending on what you're looking for. Like, they have edibles all in one section. They have the buds all in one section. They had a cooler with literal fucking canning jars, massive canning jars, just full of bud.
The old school ones.
Yeah. But what the fuck was it that I was going to get to?
The candy.
Candy. Oh yeah. I had a fat boy moment while we were shopping there. So I told her, because I was interested in the CBD lollipops that they had there.
Yes.
And I told her, okay, because they had two different types. I said, I'll take two of each.
Yeah.
She got me one of each.
Yeah, and the only reason why we went out there is because, one, you have free time, and two, they're opening the state back up. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are they opening? Because I've been living under a rock.
There's so many different things. Like we're opening up in like a week, just with like guidelines and stipulations, and at least the bar leagues, like the tavern
Wait,
leagues.
didn't
and
you
stuff,
say last episode give it 2 weeks?
No, but
It was
I
either
already
last
knew.
week or the
I
week
already,
before.
I already
Yeah.
knew that though. Like,
Yeah.
It was last week. Yeah.
But yeah. So it's bar to bar. They're reducing the capacity, like the amount of people that can go in, and but I went on the river. Yeah, my fucking phone blacked out and fucking went off the grid.
Richard went dark for a few days.
I did.
Oh no!
I actually got
this.
I got a text from one of our mutual friends this morning. Essentially, he was worried that Richard died, and he wanted me to check in on him again. No, this
Second
wasn't
time.
Jose.
No.
No way, Jose.
I was like, oh shit.
Let's bask in that silence for a second.
No. Okay. What happened? How did it go dark? How did you?
I went kayaking and I got drunk, and my friend said it was waterproof. It
was not waterproof.
was not waterproof.
He was actually talking about the phone that he had just gifted you, not the phone that you were using.
No, he was talking about my phone. But our theory is I've dropped it so many times that it fucking leaked or something. So yeah, it zapped my whole phone, so I didn't have a phone all weekend. And then it just revived itself. So
and so you've learned 2 days. You've learned 2 days in a row how essential that goddamn little stupid smartphone is.
It is. It really is. And the thing is, I don't have my Facebook email either, and I don't have that email's password. So I can't even log on Facebook. You know, my fucking Yahoo shit.
I was worried what's going on with Stu the Plant.
Yeah.
Because
I threw up a good couple. Or Henry, actually. I didn't throw anything up. I told Henry to fucking put one up.
You're going to need like an emergency contact for Stu the Plant, because if you go dark, Stu the Plant goes dark.
I was like,
who's going to water that shit? Stu the Plant's going to get hungry and he's going to cannibalize your ass.
I know.
Feed me, Seymour.
Attack of the Killer Tomato Plant.
If that plant dies, you know how much shit I'm going to get if that fucking tomato plant dies?
All of it.
Now you know how I feel when Betty White dies.
There is no purpose.
Oh, God. What's going to happen?
I have been seeing some
Her or Stu? Putting bets on it?
I'm putting September.
I'm
putting September.
For Stu?
For both.
Betty.
Betty and Stu. The moment Stu dies is the moment Betty dies.
Oh, what? So like they're connected by some kind of stomach light, like E.T. and Elliot?
Yeah, might as well.
Dalton, we should try to bullshit a way to like fly Betty White out of here.
Send her to the moon.
Where to? Yeah, to the moon.
Put her on Elon. Put her on Elon Musk's rocket to Mars.
She and Elon's new son have to populate the fucking.
Oh Jesus! Fuck.
We can do a Make-A-Wish. You know
SR-71. Give it to me.
No, they renamed it.
What?
They got rid of the actual numeral at the end of it, and now it's a Roman numeral. I don't remember.
IV. Roman numeral
It's
for 12. It's
XII.
XII.
Yeah.
It's Z. If you speak other languages, it's Z.
I mean, I'm glad that he's finally listening to all the feedback.
He come down from his fucking ego high.
But Richard, where are we gonna fly Betty White and Stu the Plant
no
to?
shit,
I really
dude.
want to learn
I
about
don't
this.
fucking know. We could here.
To the studio?
Janesville or the studio, whatever.
I don't. Yeah.
We're saying we can make it work. Stu's got connections.
All right, Betty, we got a
Stu's
basement for you to go into. It's okay. Don't worry about the recording equipment. I got this plant. I got this plant.
It talks. Don't worry.
It talks. Hey, here's the rule of thumb. If it talks, it fucks. Hey.
Hey.
Get the fuck out of here, Hank. All right, I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
My goal is to get laid from this tomato plant.
Oh, my goal is for you
word
not
Your
to
gets
get
goal
on.
is to fuck a plant?
No,
Yeah.
use him as a wingman, bro. But like show off my tomato plant Facebook
Why not?
page.
I do remember.
You did run into a bar with Fig Newtons.
Oh, I did. Oh yeah. Oh my lord, that hurts.
Richard got a little power hungry off
fucking-
of Stu the Plant
I
because like
did.
girls started sliding in his DMs
Yep,
and he started
yep.
getting bold on Facebook.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
When we were talking last week about these posts that he was deleting, I was actually wondering why we hadn't gotten to this one, but I'm glad that we've come full circle and we
Yeah.
tune in next week, guys, when we finally get to the end of the story. Anyway, let's talk about The Witcher. No,
Wow, deep cut. That was your biggest grievance about last week's show.
I'm
dude.
all about self-deprecation. I was kind of I was a little
distraught,
salty,
salty.
bitchy, distraught.
Well, on the car ride over to fucking Pewaukee, you were just like, "Fuck, man, I really wanted to talk about that."
I didn't even.
And then
want
fucking Richard's pulling shit about DBZ up. I want to talk about The Witcher, damn it.
I just need to find my niche, man. I need to find my niche.
Niche.
Find the crowd who wants to talk about The Witcher.
Get on Discord.
Discord, yeah. Maybe.
I was gonna say there's a couple of Witcher servers.
That's fair.
There's a shit ton of DBZ servers. Jesus fuck.
But Richard got pretty power hungry.
Yeah, I did.
These girls started hitting him up, and he basically started putting like APBs out on Facebook under Stu the Plant. Like, man, this
Looking
plant's
for
gonna get me so
a
much pussy.
squirter.
What were we talking about before? Like I got work on
Stu the
remember-
Plant seeking squirters.
I think I remember the post almost verbatim. It went something like, "Man, this plant's gonna get me so much puss." Or something like that.
No.
And then his phone goes dark.
It was specifically the word "puss" at the end that bothered me, not because it's just an abbreviated version of the word "pussy," but it bothered me because when you read it, it almost comes out. It can come out. This plant's gonna get me so much puss.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
40 minutes ago, Stu the Tomato Plant. I like to play Super Smash Brothers with the items on because it's a lot more fun.
He's just a wholesome tomato plant.
Jesus
Man,
Christ.
maybe I should start using Betty White Wellness Watch to talk about The Witcher. If you're using this,
You
plant to
should
talk
do
about-
it. Do it.
I'm just looking at all the fucking people who like Stu's shit, and it's like Henry and chicks. Henry and chicks.
Yeah.
Henry and chicks.
I'm just a wholesome tomato plant. Okay,
What
so
the fuck,
let me explain
dude?
the post. Now,
370 plus people like this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Stu. Henry can't even. No. I'm not even gonna have Henry even in the same room with Stu.
You don't even want people to know who Henry is. Come on.
Is
Why are
this
you getting
beef?
mad?
Does Stu have some beef now?
If he's
I don't know.
Is there a
I don't know
rivalry
what
here?
kind of tomato plant is
Should
Stu.
we
have
Is he a
yet to
beef?
get-
Is he a beef tomato plant?
He doesn't even know. He's
Okay.
He's just
He
We-
self-identifies as a tomato.
I mean, we have yet to see Stu the Tomato Plant and Henry Strader in the same room. I mean, are we
They
seeing?
could be the same
Are we
person.
seeing future guests? Perhaps a future show
A future
run by
show.
Stu the Tomato Plant
Stu
and
the
Henry
tomato
Strader.
plant. Yeah, he can do it. He's
Stu
getting
and
up there.
Strader. Strader
Whoa.
Stu.
No,
Stu
Stu and
Strader.
Strader. Stu and Strader.
Stu and Strader.
Stu and Strader.
Oh man, that rolls off the tongue like Drake and Josh.
Stu and Strader.
Turtle donut.
Bad Habits
I never
Network.
find that
Habits.
it be so.
Shots
Oh
from
my
the balcony.
God. We're the shit guys. Holy fuck.
Oh my god, this is
So
quality
cool.
content, guys. If you like this shit, I don't understand who the fuck you are.
Dude, this one guy
You must
tried,
be a phlebotomist.
this one guy tried calling me out on the Stu base plant. He's like, "Why are you ripping off Dragon Ball Z, huh?" Because I have a Dragon Ball Z picture in the back. I'm like, I
Wait,
don't,
were
it's
you
a
like
fucking-
It's a
posting-
nod. It's a nod.
It's a fucking it's a knot. And I'm like, you think I like tried to steal Dragon Ball Z? Like, oh, look at my fucking awesome artwork. And I'm like, it's just a tomato plant, man. I got nothing. It's all it is. So back to the post, and here's why I deleted it, because it wasn't consistent with Stu. Because I got him a new pot to put him in. And I was like,
Sorry, I totally was active listening on that one. The stoner just got a plant pot.
yeah. So I got him this new pot, and I did hashtag new fit, and I was like, told Rich not to water me for a week because I'll be drowning in puss. But I felt like that's not a Stu thing to say. You know, you can't be like that
Yeah.
and then talk about eating Fig Newtons because you feel bad you don't like them. It was just a lack of consistency there. So deleted it.
Well,
And then the
then
puss thing made sense.
I mean,
I thought it was a good joke.
it's just like I don't know. Like at the same time, it's your tomato plant. Stu the Tomato Plant is
Yeah.
his own human being. He's gonna post whatever he wants to post. But when I see,
like how the
when
fucking
I see,
fact we're workshopping a goddamn plan.
This is what it's like.
I wrote down all these notes for this show. Fucking
Just toss it out the fucking window.
tossed it out the fucking
Thanks
window.
for coming
We
to
are
Monday Night Covered with Stu the Tomato Plant.
Monday Night Covered.
COVID. I never
Covenant.
claimed
Welcome
to
to
be good
Monday
with
Night
words.
Covered. You reap what you sow. Let's talk about Stu the
Oh no, we're just going full farm simulator on this bitch.
Farm Simulator. Holy shit, PS4 gave that out for free. Farm Simulator 2019. We all hopping
What,
on
they
that?
couldn't afford to give out Farm Simulator 2020 for free?
No, they didn't. There was a whole shitstorm online. They're like, you're giving us City Builder and Farm Simulator, you piece of shit. The world's on fire, and you're really giving that away?
Well, yeah, because they want to fucking teach you how to rebuild the world.
Yeah, that's literally
Learn these critical skills.
Farm Simulator.
Oh man,
They should have, like,
I see what they did there. That's ironic and awesome at the same time. This is how you rebuild a society, you fucking savages.
fucking-
I mean, at the same
Idiots.
time, maybe it's just that cheeky humor like what I noticed with Animal Crossing when all this shit started.
Yeah, the face masks.
Yeah, they started bringing out face masks.
You
They
thought it
gave
was
you
a
sneezing
conspiracy, I
emojis.
thought.
Well, I mean, and we don't have to completely rehash over this. But I just
or do
felt
we?
like they had this like, hey, you're in this great community with all these new friends, but just remember what the fuck got you here. Remember why your parents aren't here.
Remember
all
the
these
20th
letters-
of February.
You get all these letters from your mom. Where the fuck is Dad, yo?
where's fucking Dad? God, now I'm sad. You ruined Animal Crossing for me.
Again.
Dude, the first day
Again.
that I played it, I was literally looking over my shoulder because, like, I'd just gotten finished playing with, like, The Witcher, Death Stranding, all these, like, dark, serious games. Like, someone's out to get you. What's your game plan, yo? What's going on?
And
I don't
Richard
trust
comes in
jitters.
Richard comes in on a cloud with a Kamehameha.
Yeah, that's my game plan. Just figure it out. That's what I would do.
Let's do the tomato plant. Do we want to go back to that?
If you want to.
No, I don't.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
see.
you
We
ripped
talk-
up. You ripped up everything you
You
wanted to
did.
get to.
I ripped up an empty piece of paper.
Ah,
Yeah.
Is this
I wanna
the
start ripping up these fucking joints.
Yeah,
These
do we want to
these
break into
CBD
these?
joints?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Let's break-
let's
Yeah,
these
let's
bad boys.
let's bust those bad boys open. I kind of wish that we waited until now to talk more about the company because now we just get to listen to Gary reaching his hand into a Ziploc bag,
Yeah.
passing around these.
What are you
doobies.
fucking talking about, dude? You got more than enough fucking shit to talk about. You can talk about the car ride there. You can talk about the first time you fucking popped these out of the fucking cello ashtray bullshit that I got in studio.
Oh,
It'd be like,
yeah.
boom, it made the whole car ride just the fucking having them in the car. You fucking did
these were
a
sitting
pre-test. You couldn't even fucking. You were like a fat kid with fucking chocolate trying to get home.
It was fucking enjoy. I wasn't a fat kid with chocolate. I was a fat kid who just ate a whole lot of chocolate.
Goddamn right.
It was the most relaxing car ride I ever had in my life.
And
because
right now I look like that fucking meme.
Oh yeah, good guy Gary.
oh,
Yeah, Gary invites
Pretty
you
sure
to
it
his
was-
Thanksgiving.
but where the fuck was I going with this?
You were
yeah,
going
yeah.
like a fat kid with cake, and then you're like, you couldn't even fucking wait till this day to get this shit started.
Yeah, so I've actually already tried these things, so I know how I'm gonna feel, and I've been super stoked all day to smoke one again.
And I'm gonna warn you folks.
Gary and Richard haven't tried one yet, so I'm excited to see how they get.
And I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm gonna choke and cough like a fucking bitch.
Dude, this shit was so fucking potent yesterday. Make sure that you're on that ashtray, bro.
Yeah.
Let's not forget our neighbor and pass the lighter.
Pass the dochi to the left hand side.
Gracias, mi hombre.
Yep. So guys, as we're lighting up, we are huge advocates of CBD as well as possibly I got one. And possibly THC. Richard definitely is a THC fucking advocate.
And
Yeah,
I
big
actually
fan.
lean closer towards CBD, so that's why I was so excited.
Yeah,
about
you don't do
having this.
THC because of
Paranoia.
THC makes me paranoid. It amplifies my anxiety, and what I love about CBD is that it gives you a body high and it just calms you down. This is kind of like when stoners would talk to me about weed, they tell me how calm you get. This is what I pictured feeling from smoking weed.
Yeah, people react differently, dude. The first time we smoked weed, we were in high school at a friend's campground, and Dalton gets high, and you're like, do you remember what happened? Maybe you can recount this better.
Okay. First time I ever smoked was actually at our buddy's house. We smoked out of a Mountain Dew can.
Oh, okay.
Because that night, I still have a scar from that night.
Oh, a Mountain Dew can?
Mountain Dew can.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we flattened out this Mountain Dew can. I'm actually glad that you got it wrong so that we can talk about this night.
Yeah,
but any time in high school where Dalton smoked weed, it was an interesting night. But so this night, it was supposed to be just like a quiet stoner night. Pop Dalton's cherry with weed, and we'll have a good time. You guys made a snack run. I fell asleep with a popsicle in my pocket.
What?
We don't have to unpack that. I had a nice juice pouch in my pocket when I woke up. It didn't break open or anything like that, but yeah. I woke up with cotton mouth and I had a nice drink.
That's
man.
beautiful. That's a high thing you wake up.
But
The flavor they gave us, real quick, folks. I know somebody wants to know. It's called Bubba Boat. Yeah, this is fucking potent as shit. Wow.
yeah, dude, this is I fucking love this shit.
But the out of the can and a
Out of the can.
juice pocket.
We ended up, it was like Anne Frank style. We ended up smoking in a fucking just a little tiny closet. 3 of us packed in there. And I stopped growing when I was 15, so I was already 6'5", size 15 shoe.
Yep.
It's
But
smooth though.
later on that night, I remember we were watching Jackass 3D because that had just came out, and that was absolutely our sense of humor at the time. We ended up watching that on fucking repeat.
With the dick hitting the face. I
Yep, the
love
dildo.
that. These are really smooth, man.
Yeah, this is like.
Pardon my little cough in
Yeah.
the middle, but that was it went down smooth. I have a problem with
It's
inhalation.
packed like perfectly, dude. It's like a cigarette, but smoother in terms of
Yeah.
like how it's packed. Like,
Yeah.
really well.
I'm gonna fucking go to work with one of these.
It's burning
actually
really
hoping-
even too.
I was hoping I could come away with one, but
Well, you
they were
already had
gifted
one,
to you.
bitch.
That's true.
No, they were
Very
gifted to the
relaxed.
studio.
I feel like CBD is too healthy of a habit to be considered a bad habit. You know what I mean?
Well, anything can be a bad habit in excess.
Yeah.
Any habit in excess is negative. Is decisively bad. I mean, once you go too far into it, it turns bad. Like I do. Like I go down hard rabbit holes.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I definitely.
What
did
was
not
happening?
ash-
We were watching
deep rabbit
We were
holes.
watching Jackass 3D, and there's this part in the movie where I think it's Johnny Knoxville and the Dudesons. They climb up these trees in Sweden and they cut them down.
Oh,
so that they fall
Coloradoing.
into the snow. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. And at one point, Richard's older brother showed up, so he was sober, and
He brought a girl. That's key to the story.
he brought a girl who was not his girlfriend.
And she wasn't high either.
She wasn't high either. This will all come back when I hand over the reins to Richard. But so after this happened in the movie, I was like, dude, I'd totally fucking do that. That looks like so much fun. And Richard's brother turns to me and goes, bullshit. You wouldn't do anything in this movie. And we get in this back and forth pissing contest. Basically, like, he's calling me a pussy, and I'm saying, like, I would totally do that. And it ends up bleeding over into the part of the movie where they're playing around with Mighty Glue.
No.
This is the part where like, they
glue
Wee Man-
hands.
They
Yeah.
glue Wee Man to Preston Lacey.
Yes. They take the hand and put it on Bam's dad's chest hair.
Yeah, Bam glues up his hand, pulls Ryan Dunn's beard. I remember that movie vividly, especially because of this night. But fucking, so we go back and forth having that shouting match when this scene comes up, and his brother turns to me and goes, "Would you do that?" And me, stoned and having a good old time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I'd do that. And he's like, "Bullshit! I have super glue in my car. I'm gonna go get it right now."
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, a few moments later, he comes back, puts glue all over his palm, fingers,
Loads it up.
loads it up on my stomach, and slaps his hand down. We all go silent. Or at least he and I go silent. There's activity going on
Everyone
around
just
this.
going, oh!
So he slaps his hand down, and then just, for a couple of minutes, we're just letting the glue dry. We're watching the movie. It's like it's a family gathered around the TV, like a 1950s picturesque family moment.
The Nelson family. Picture, if you will.
I was picturing the Osbournes. But
Or in this case, yes, the Margeras.
when suddenly Richard's brother starts screaming. Apparently, he's starting to get chemical burn because the glue is just getting raging hot in his hand. And me, I have stoner Irish fucking
You have stoner Irish bullshit mentality going
bullshit
on.
mentality. I have no pain tolerance, or I have a high pain tolerance with the situation. And like
And you're stoned.
everyone's screaming around us.
Screaming.
And I'm screaming at Richard's brother to stop screaming because it's like 2:00 in the morning and people are sleeping next door.
Yeah.
When I get so tired of it, I grab him by the wrist and I just rip his hand off of my stomach. And for the rest of the night, like I think they went home like immediately after that because who the fuck wants to stick around after something like that happens? I mean, he had to go and pick glue and my hair off of his hand.
Yeah.
And like
Well
I
thought out,
looked,
dumbass.
I looked at my stomach, and because I was still young and had patchy stomach hair, it wasn't like a clear outline of a hand. And
You could see it from the skin, though. It was more of the skin that was gone.
It was more of the skin. Well, his skin, because I had bits of his skin on my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
There were bits of my stomach on his hand. Like, I still have a scar that's basically like a crescent moon outlining my belly button. And, but what interested me about, I'll take one. What interested me about this was hearing about it later, which was how everybody else was reacting. And I want to pass this off to Richard to tell this half of the story.
Oh, so I remember a lot of screaming and a lot of just being, I couldn't handle the situation because it's like when I first started smoking weed. So I was just, everything tasted great. Everything looked great. It was just like, I just wanted to do everything high. So I'm panicking, right? I did not keep it together at all. And then something happens. I remember you guys leaving. I remember me being like the only one there. And at some point, someone drops off a 6-pack of fucking pudding on my lap, right? And I didn't have a spoon.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have a spoon, so I start eating this pudding, and it's delicious, right? Just like disgustingly, like shoving my hand in there and like shoving this pudding in my mouth, and I'm
Like that
went full
orange
savage.
challenge.
like a savage. Like I was breathing heavy in and out because it's like, I just had to shove the pudding in my face. So I'm down to half a cup of pudding left, right?
Tell me I can eat your pudding.
Half a cup of pudding, right? And then I look up, and there's that girl my brother brought,
Who's
who was
not stoned.
staring at Jackass with this blank look on her face of just like horror. Like I think she froze. I think she didn't know. So I'm at a crossroads because I feel like the only thing weirder than eating 6 pudding cups like that in front of her would be eating 5.5 and putting that last half down. I'm like, I gotta finish this. It's too late.
We're already here, folks. I
Yep.
gotta go full bore, bitch.
Yep.
Like our buddy Brandon, he's pacing back and forth like, what the fuck is going on? I'm going to get in so much trouble, guys.
Because you got a fat kid and a Richard's brother fucking with super glue.
Yep. That's an anti-weed commercial right there. That really is.
Well, speaking of anti-weed commercial, we can also talk about the night that you wanted to bring up. The one where we ended up smoking at Brandon's grandparents' house.
Yeah. And you
So
thought
you guys have a friend named Brandon, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
That's what I took away from it, guys.
he was at the roast of Richard Garcia. If you
Great
had
story. Fucking kill quality content. The Turtle Donut Takeover.
Yeah, the Turtle Donut Takeover. Listen to us while we
Featuring-
talk about our friends that you've never heard of before.
Featuring Brandon.
You know what? In this situation, when we are bringing up Brandon, picture your best friend, Brandon. Picture
Yeah.
the closest Brandon in your life.
Yeah.
It's that person. That's who we were hanging out with. If they're attached to traumatic memories, that was the first person you thought of. Think of another one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's such a.
But because Brandon was there for this other one, and I remember what sparked my panic, and I remember what we smoked. It was Purple Magic.
Yeah.
But I remember that around this time there was like this conspiracy theorist that was saying that apparently the zombie apocalypse was supposed to happen the next day. And because I panic about literally any conspiracy that is thrown out there, I let that get to me while we were high. And like I had Richard playing mind games with me after we'd smoked. Like he did this thing where like he brought up his hands and put them into a ball, then then he said, "Dalton, this is your brain." Okay. And then he separated both palms, thus having my brain.
Oh, no.
He cut my brain, he cleft in twain. And he's like, "This is your brain." And now it's in half. And he started licking out of it like it was those pudding cups on that night. And this threw me into a fucking panic, and it basically just foreshadowed what the rest of the night was going to do to me. And then what? There was this one point you guys were hanging out in the back of my truck, and I started to get into the truck, and I just started screaming. I had this thought in the back of my head that, like, for some reason, I just saw an image of a zombie right behind me, and I started screaming, and then I felt the truck turning on its side like we were parked on quicksand or some shit.
As trucks do.
As trucks do. And I screamed and I jumped into the truck so that I could die with my friends.
I don't want to die alone.
I don't want to die alone. But yeah, so I just climbed into the turning truck.
Well, those are good reflexes, though, because if there were zombies, holy shit, you're on top of it.
But I mean, now I just get a rapid heart rate when I smoke weed.
Just panic and start thinking of stuff you should have taken care of.
Man, I do love these joints, though. You guys finished off yours, but I'm still going through this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're halfway done.
Yeah, just
okay.
half.
I'm a little bit more than half.
Nice.
Sorry.
We did have a kind of an interesting moment just before.
Oh, Jesus!
That was Dalton. Ace precision.
He was definitely aiming at your face,
worry,
but he nailed the microphone.
Definitely aiming at my.
I was
my,
aiming
my,
for
my
the
balls.
balls.
Wow, I like you on CBD. You're just like, fuck this.
I'm not really feeling it.
Laser accuracy. But there was an interesting moment that happened before the show, and I realized that there's just something that always comes up that makes me realize Gary and I are living almost parallel lives, but I'm just a decade behind him. What was it? Richard hit us up earlier today separately, and he asked us for your address.
Oh, this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Richard first called me while I was taking a shit, and
Yeah, you're usually more welcoming when you take shits. Was that a rough one?
I didn't let him know until the end of the phone call. Like, I was just, Dalton's in a bit of an echoey room right now. I don't think anything's out of the ordinary.
Flush.
When just before we hung up, I was just like, all right, man, I'm gonna finish taking my poop.
I'm so used to talking with Dalton while he's pooping. Like, sometimes he will just poop in the middle of the conversation. He'll be like, I'll call him up and he'll be like, hold on, let me start taking a shit before we get this one going.
No, I won't. That's a blatant lie.
That blatant lie, is it?
Objection.
Is it? Are we ever going to do our dual shit move that we were going to do?
Well, you and I don't have money. We can't because we wanted to do like a double-decker shit where like one of us
A double decker or an upper decker? How about
Double-decker.
How about a double decker on an upper decker?
It's an upper-lower. It's
Oh yes, this concept.
It's a full Lindy.
Yes.
It's a double Lindy.
Yeah,
on a toilet seat.
Guys, if you listen to before the episodes in the back catalog before Monday Night COVID, yeah. I remember
you guys talked about
you've done this. You've talked about this before.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it was like just
Wait, no,
after
bingo, go.
just after Richard and I moved in together, we started just having all these little ideas for how we could spruce up the apartment, and we started talking about, well, what's going to happen because we only have one bathroom? What's going to happen when both of us have to poop? And then Richard slides in there all flying shit, saying, "Oh, dude, that's easy. We can just do a double Lindy." I'm paraphrasing. He didn't actually say a double Lindy, but we went on to explain what was going to happen. So I think because you're more dexterous, even though I have all the height, I'm going to do it in the normal toilet bowl, and then you would do it in the upper bowl. And there would be like this because you're so short, you can't just stand up and sit on the upper deck of the toilet. I have to essentially sit down on the toilet bowl,
And he
ready
has to
do
squat
mine.
behind you like he's Master Blaster and you're fucking running Barter Town from Mad Max 2. Jesus Christ.
It's like we're about to hop a fence, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm using all of my force to simultaneously push out a poop and push out a Richard up over me, where he will then do a double front flip. This was actually thought of tactically because he couldn't land it doing a single front flip. He has
The
to
velocity.
get the
to-
maximum velocity in order to push that shit essentially as soon as he lands atop the toilet. But
well, there's that.
we didn't talk about removing the lid from the top of the toilet.
Here's the tactic I wanted to do. I wanted to do a double poop. So what I would do, I would take the bottom one actually, right, and then I would do a front somersault, and then Dalton would be on the second decker, and if we time it perfectly, as I'm doing the front somersault, we could combine our poops in one massive turtle donut poop.
Oh, okay. So it's a turtle donut.
Turtle donut. Turtle.
I see what you did there.
Hey.
But anyway, Richard was calling me while I was taking a poop. And
Well, this is good shit.
what was it? You asked me.
Was it a
me
good
for-
shit?
I've been backed up for a couple of days, and I have an iron deficiency.
So you're doing little fucking charcoal snakes out of your butthole. Got it.
Thanks for bringing it up. I'm a little
sensitive on it?
Yeah.
Well, I would be too. That kind of hurts the bee-hole. The old bee-hole.
Yeah, my BBs. But Richard asked me for your address, and because Richard asks me for your address anytime he has to do a show here and I'm not giving him a ride, and I was like, dude, just refer to my last conversation. Just slide up in our conversation, and you'll find the last time I sent you the address, because it was literally like last fucking week. And then...
Oh, wait, he hit you up last week, too?
No, not last week. Some time ago. And literally any time that he comes here and I didn't drive him, he asks for your address, and I was like, dude, just go up in the conversation. You'll find it. And Richard goes, I'll just ask Gary. And so then he texts you, and you guys literally had the exact same conversation. You sent him a screen cap.
A screenshot.
I screenshotted the previous conversation we had,
which was like literally 2 texts up. It was just a picture of what I was already looking at, and I knew as soon as you sent the picture, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm an idiot, aren't I?
This does just show.
It just shows you how patient I am, because I deal with Sean.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff that Sean's did, and I'm like, dude, you're so fucking high right now. Hey, remember last week when we were talking about bologna sandwiches and then we had one? Dude, that was yesterday. Oh.
Richard used to hit me up about our ex-landlord's phone number years after we'd moved out of there. And because I like to keep things up to date, I had it.
Yeah.
I had the fucking phone number.
Maybe I just like talking to you, man. Maybe I just like making conversation. Really inefficient conversation that's frustrating.
Gay!
It's guy love between two guys. Love you, B.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you.
So, Richard, you had some news to bring up. You said you're unretiring from comedy.
What?
I don't think our listeners knew that you were retiring
no one
from
knew
comedy.
I retired. It was just the.
Are you doing a Ross Perot?
Ross Perot, what do you do?
I'm in. I'm out. Yeah, you're gonna.
It's more like a Dwayne Johnson.
I was gonna say more like a Michael Jordan. Dare I say? He retires and then comes back to the Bulls after a year, and then retires again, and then comes back to the Wizards.
He's kind of like the Michael Jordan from Space Jam. I hit myself in the face.
Karma is like, you might want to rethink this punchline.
No, he's like the Michael Jordan from Space Jam. He takes up a new hobby every time he gives something else up. But because he realized that COVID happened, he can't really pick up any other hobbies.
No, I've gotten into drawing.
Stu.
You know, I got Stu.
Oh, yeah.
Freestyle raps. I've been freestyle rapping with the kitchen guy at work. It works. It's good.
Okay.
It's good. Hitting you up on my SoundCloud.
Richarzarded.
Lil
DJ Richarzarded.
Richarzarded.
Yeah, sorry, wrong generation. Lil Richarzarded.
Semi-Richarzarded.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, I quit. I was gonna get like
he's only quasi. Go ahead. Sorry,
I was
Richard.
gonna get like a regular job with benefits and stuff, and then I just thought about it. Like I had one lined up, and then even with all the COVID stuff, I'm like, the comedy scene's gonna be hit so hard, but I just can't give it up, man. I just love it too much. I gotta. I don't know. Keep on keeping on, dude.
Keeping on. Life's a garden. Dig
dude,
it, man.
Pretty much, man. Dude, that's literally what it is. And
well, and like I was thinking, if you stopped doing the laugh your glass off and like running that whole thing, that'd mean that I would have to take up the mantle.
It would be over. Yeah, because I know you don't want to do stand up so much, and then
what?
Well, you and I had this conversation on the ride up to Pewaukee yesterday.
Yes, but you're bringing it up on the show. I did not think that was going to happen.
Richard did it.
I did it.
Okay.
No, I don't mind talking about this at all. And like I suppose, like, you know, since I started on the network, I haven't really been talking a whole lot about, you know, my journey in comedy.
You've been on a lot of journeys, Bubba.
I talk about my journeys, but I mean like my journey as a whole, like what I intend to get out of it.
Gotcha, sorry.
Not journey as a whole.
Gay?
Fucking gay.
Happiness, the key to life is happiness in your asshole.
Now, the first part, I was going to say Beverly Hillbillies, but...
Pooper Troopers.
Pooper Troopers.
Yep. Actually originally from Steve Lemmy's stand-up, which he put into Super Troopers 2.
Oh, okay, because that joke actually originated from the Beverly Hillbillies. When,
Interesting.
When Jules Verne was Jethro.
Huh.
Or no, Jed. Because it was this weird story, and this chick was faking a French accent. And she goes, happiness is so very hard to find. And he's like,
okay.
Beg pardon?
All right. Okay, so I was wondering, like, Beverly Hillbillies said a penis in your asshole?
No, they said happiness is very hard to find. And
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I seen where the first part of this joke, and then the Pooper Troopers put their spin on it. I like that.
But
How do you say Jay's last name again?
Wait, Jay's last name?
Yeah, Jay.
Oh, Jay Chandrasekhar.
I always liked how Johnny Knoxville fucked with him on that.
Deep
cut, folks. Deep cut.
Anyway, what I'm looking at in terms of comedy is like I look at comedy
Yes.
as kind of like a gateway because, you know, I enjoy the reaction that I get out of a crowd, but there are other aspects of entertainment that I'd
Yeah.
like to get into. And like we've talked about, like voice acting. Voice acting has been one of my passions since I was a child. Like I
Who did it that time?
that was Richard. I talk about voice acting like I talk about The Witcher. Like I can call out a voice actor when I hear their voice, and like I follow them like fucking like I was collecting baseball cards of these voice actors. Honestly, like and this is just I guess a high thought. Fucking
How?
I don't know.
You're relaxed. You're not high.
It's Dalton. Every thought is a high thought.
Dude, we gave you oregano.
And Richard's ball hairs. What is it? Like I look at comedy as a way of acquiring these skills for the other things that I want to do with my life, like voice acting or podcasting or writing, you know?
Writing or writing?
Writing.
Oh, writing.
I am an
No, he's
English
got a
major.
chopper. He's got a Davidson. He loves the road.
Yeah, I was going to start going off on him on that one, too. It's like, I've never
He's got
seen...
fingerless gloves in a patch.
I wear fingerless gloves. I wore them on Halloween when I
Rough
dressed up as Fat
mustache.
Thor.
You should dress up as Big J. Okerson if you got fingerless gloves.
I should.
The little chain on your wallet. Little wallet chain. Bro, I love how he rocks that wallet chain. Never losing my money.
He does dress like a middle school goth kid.
He does. Those fucking jorts he wears, the big short things.
Oh, the fucking Jenko
Jenkos,
jorts?
yeah. Those are my favorite.
But Richard, let's get back to, you know, your journey. You first off, why did you
believing.
I'm more of a separate ways worlds
One
apart kind of guy,
day
but
love
we
will
talked about
find
that
you.
last week.
Yes.
Why did you make the decision to quit in the first place?
Oh, well, at first, it was like a financial thing.
Was it because you were chasing puss?
Yeah, man, I got a busy chase drowning in puss.
in all this stew puss.
So I got too good. I just, practically speaking, and it would honestly, if you were to give me good advice, you would say, yeah, just get a job and
Get a haircut,
get a
shave,
haircut,
yada,
shave.
yada.
Fucking take care of yourself like that. But like, I don't know. I
Put the
played
spliff
with
down.
that idea, and I thought about it too, and then I'm like, I don't know, man. I just have too much fun doing. I really think I need stand up. I really think, because I've always done stand up, even with the worst mindsets. Just like I've been hungover, I've been like depressed, I've like gone to open mics alone. Like I just love doing stand up, and even if I'm not in a good mood, I'm so like pulled towards the stage. And I think it's a good move for you to dial back a little bit, Dalton, and focus your energies elsewhere, because I think it would just help you grow. And then when you get better at writing and podcasts and voice acting stuff, you can go back to comedy with new skill sets.
Plus, Richard doesn't feel like he's competing with you.
Yeah. And then, God,
Well, like Richard and we just have a competitive friendship.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I got
noted.
into-
I want to talk about The Witcher. Fuck you, DBZ.
fuck you. Yeah.
I got into stand up because Richard got into stand up, and also I didn't want to see him suffer alone. Fucking
Yeah.
And he didn't have a car.
Rule
I
2
didn't
of
know
the
the car.
studio. No one suffers alone. I love it.
You do stand up? God, I used to try to convince everyone to do stand up just so I can get a ride.
Yeah, no, like literally
I
his
literally-
one talking point. He had two selling points for trying to get a friend in a stand up. It's like, dude, you're so funny, and you have a car, so we can get up there.
And then
Yeah.
Taco Bell afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, there was so much Taco Bell.
Dude, remember the first time we bombed? Like bombed down at the fountain?
Oh, God. That was the first time you and I both bombed on the same night.
Both bombed on the same night. So we hit up the comedy club on State, and that club's always been packed.
And brutal.
Yep.
Well,
Not
like-
really brutal, I would say, because they have a no heckling rule.
Back in the
that
day,
I love.
Yeah.
I love that to a point.
back in the day, what I really liked about comedy on State, and this was just like for 1 or 2 years after you and I both became the right age to perform there, it was almost always guaranteed. Like if it was your first time, you'd get up on stage, or if you come around a lot. Yeah, sure.
Fight
we'll give
Club.
you some extra
Fight Club rules.
Yeah,
If it's your first
give you
time
some
here,
extra-
get up there.
We'll give you some extra stage time. Fucking
Nope.
Oh yeah, you're driving from Janesville. Fuck yeah, dude. You can go on. Just do 3 minutes. You show up every week. You're just learning your shit. And people would the crowd was difficult. Like they didn't have the whole heckling rule and all that. But then after a while, it seemed to shift, and they started essentially only catering to the people who showed up every week and essentially the Madison scene. So like if you were already in the scene
And
You
you're a
always
Madison
got on.
scene regular.
and
Yes.
if you weren't well known, you were essentially only guaranteed to go up once per month. And this is if you show up every week and you were only given 3 minutes until a TBD fucking dictated
Okay.
time frame.
It just got too big, man. It just got too big for its own good.
Yeah. And that's just what comes from success.
Yep.
And so there was one particular night.
Dare
where-
I say this show where we had to restrict the number of people in studio?
You call that success? I call it.
I call that it works. Everyone wants to be a part of it again, and it's
That's
like,
fair.
all right, cool.
That's
We'll
fair.
have to schedule something for you guys.
Was that? You're not allowed. You want to come back? No, that's fucking tough. So
I'm
this
talking about our like Cody wants in on this. Fucking Rob wants in on this. Rob really wants in on this.
well, it was around when you told me that, or when it finally started getting into my fucking head that Monday Night COVID is my show. I wanted to start taking ownership over it. And after 2 weeks ago, and like I love Cody Tripper and Michael, and Tara's fucking awesome. I want to have her back on the show, even a Monday Night COVID. It's just like I wanted to get Richard some time on the podcast because usually whenever I bring him on, he's usually
A wallflower.
forced into a corner because there are other conversations that are just going on, and like I wanted to
And
have.
we're very guilty at doing that in the studio.
Well, and like it's totally fun, like a bunch of friends sitting around in a room, like talking bullshit to each other. I
But-
enjoy the hell out of that.
You're a new guy. You've been invited here. I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be talking. Why isn't no one talking?
And like I felt bad that I brought Richard here so often, and he wasn't able to give a like.
Until Sean showed up.
No, that
Yeah.
wasn't too bad though, because I've never really done podcasts before, and so even being able to be just a wallflower is kind of good because it's like everyone's taking control of the
Yeah.
conversation. I can kind of dip in and out. It's a different thing. Podcast is just a different art form compared to other stuff.
Well, and you and I are still, we're still learning
Yeah.
because this is the first podcast that we've ever been on. At least in my own experience, I've never been on another podcast, and I've always wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
And fuck yeah, it was exciting, and like I feel like I've learned a lot, and now that I'm hosting, I'm getting even more experience. And
I've been invited. I just haven't responded to any of them. I'm just too fucking busy. I'm way too fucking busy. Dad life, yo.
I was gonna say, invited to
dad
Monday
life.
Night COVID, you're invited by proxy.
Well, that, but I'm talking like outside of the network shit, outside of this studio.
Okay.
I've been there's
Oh, like other shows?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You've been invited on other shows. Richard's
I've
got
been
his
invited
own.
on Richard's show.
You were invited on fucking the Amazing Blazing Asian, if I'm not mistaken.
Was I?
Oh, I like that.
I'm gonna have to
the Amazing
re-listen to
Blazing
that.
Asian, if I'm not mistaken.
Blazing, blazing.
Yeah, I
Asian.
mean, let's plug Josh Barumfong Sa's show, The Amazing Blazing Asian. I listened to a couple of episodes of that. He's
Fantastic.
getting his shit going. Fuck yeah.
Then there's
Unfazed
Josh's.
with Matt Plouts.
Matt Plouts. Yes.
Wait, not
Wrong guy.
I was gonna say we just talked about Josh Barumfong Sa.
Yeah.
Are you active listening today?
Yes. It's the CBD.
But
I'll blame it on that.
I do want to
No.
go back to what Richard and I were talking
Yes,
about
sir,
the
I
time that we
apologize.
bombed at the fountain. That particular night, it was just one of those nights where I think we were working at the post office and we finally got the right day off to where they were doing the open mic, neither of us got on, and we were, super bummed out about that, not really invested in even watching the show. And then we learned about another open mic going on across the street.
Yeah, because they overbooked the list. So this guy's like going around. He's like, if you didn't make the list, blah, blah, blah. He's like, we're doing an open mic. Fuck these guys. We'll make our own open mic. So
he was trying to fucking pirate it.
early.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Let's pull together.
The Pirates of State Street.
So this was the thing is like when I first started doing comedy, I was generally successful. I had a good start. Like I had really good sets, like my first 3-4 sets. So I was just used to winning all the time. Like I was used to like being liked. I've never bombed before. I've never had to experience anything like that. And then we go to the fountain. It's like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, I lied. Gary's still here.
It's like 11 o'clock at night. And then we get done, and we go to the fountain, and the mood is just fucking sad. You have all these, like, sad, drunk, angry comics that they didn't get on stage, on the nice stage, and we all got to get together. And I'm feeling good at this point.
Well, and that was the crowd. The crowd was all of these upset comics.
Yep, exactly. So everyone's bombing, right? Everyone's bombing. I remember my slot. I was number 4. And I'll tell you what, sometimes you're in a moment and you believe and you know you're going to do good. Like, you just feel it. You're almost, like, excited to live that moment because you know you're about to crush it. I was feeling so good. I'm like, these fucking drunk bums. I wasn't drinking at the time. And then I go on stage.
I'm going to get mad, puss.
And go on stage to a crowd of blank stares, and I just eat total dog shit. And I felt like they were beating me with sticks. I was so, like, I never bombed that hard before. I was, like, panicking.
Sucks.
And then, like, none of the jokes were landing. And I remember me and Dalton, like, we're almost, like, traumatized as we're walking out of the venue.
Well, and, like, that was the first and only time that I used the material that I wrote for that. I wrote it, like, before we left to go.
Yeah.
And, like, that's still my writing process now. But
it
was just, like,
so hard I felt guilty.
I feel
like
guilty
I had-
anytime that I bomb.
Yeah.
Like I had a toothpick stuck in my throat, guilty.
Yep. It's,
I don't. You have to bomb though as a comic.
oh,
Yeah.
you have to, yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
just makes
I
it-
remember it was after we bombed like this. You and I both took the longest hiatus we had ever taken before.
Yeah.
Like that turned us off of comedy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm more giving you guys credit for coming back. I don't care how long it took. You guys still fucking took the jump.
it took Richard to get me back into it.
Well, the second jump is always the hardest. Once you fucking hurt yourself, you don't want to do it again, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I watch my kid all the time. The moment he falls off the bike, he doesn't want to get on it right away.
Okay, you pushed him.
Let's be honest. I want him to know how to embrace the
Toughen
suck
them up.
early.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say I kind of look back at that a little bit different than you, Dalton, because I remember telling you afterwards, like, that was awesome. Almost like I never bombed like that. I was like, I wanted, because it was just so, like, the stress was so high, and I felt like I was in so much danger. And that's kind of the thrill of comedy, is like the danger of the situation of, like, are these people going to accept you or not accept you? And that just gave me a better perspective as a comic. But I would say why I'm good at bombing, because I bombed
A lot.
a fucking high school talent show, like ninth
No
grade.
shit.
I was in such a shitty metal band, dude. We
Dude,
like
and that was all right.
I'm more
That is
impressed
still
that you had.
that is still in like
Wow.
my top 5 greatest nights of my life.
no,
Because while Richard bombed,
not that one. No, not that one. That I'm talking ninth grade. This is before I even performed.
Oh, okay.
This is when I was in a
this
metal
was
band.
before we became good friends.
Yeah, this is
We were just acquaintances.
Really, the
Yeah.
guy who looks like the lead singer of Sepultura
Sepultura.
was in a metal
I
band.
like to
You're
think
kidding.
System of a Down.
He didn't know.
But,
He didn't always
so-
look like this.
No, now he looks like System of a Downs
You mean Syndrome of a Downs?
or that.
for Charizard. But so ninth grade, I was in a really shitty metal band. We never practiced. We barely practiced, and I didn't know anything. I was just a fucking idiot. Kid,
All I
right?
had was a tube screamer and a guitar.
That's pretty much it. So I would like scream into the microphone during practice because we set the gain really low, so I could scream into it. So we started playing, and I'm
Hold on, that was
screaming.
that was a cue.
Oh,
I turned your gain down.
oh shit!
Oh, you thought that he was actually going to start screaming
I
into the
did.
mic?
I honestly did thought he was going to give
So
us a little
it
taste.
sounded like this, but
Yeah,
no.
no.
So I'm like screaming
I was about to say if it sounded like that is shit.
Screaming.
But
into this microphone, and the feedback is horrendous, and I didn't know what to do. I kept going.
Turn the gain down.
And everyone at school was like, I heard you did terrible. People like went out of their way to be like, I heard you did horrible. Like people that didn't even know, like in front of hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And their families. That was just...
That was your American Pie moment?
That was, yeah. But I actually kind of came back because the next talent show, I practiced screaming and I stopped blowing the mic and I actually got a pretty good applause.
Yeah,
so.
you learned to do it this way instead of this way.
Yep,
Sorry, folks, this is a visual fucking joke on an audio show.
And then that was also...
You learned how to social distance yourself from the microphone. There we go.
Yeah,
Ninth grade. You can go on and talk about that, but I want to talk about the consecutive... Sorry, I want to go talk about the consecutive talent shows where I started participating as well. But so you said 10th grade?
No, that was 9th grade.
And then 10th
but you
grade
said
was better.
The next year you did better.
No, there were 2 talent shows that year. There was one in January and there was one in June.
Really?
Yep, the one in January was like a charity one.
Oh, nice.
I wasn't exactly
charitable.
I didn't participate much in school in extracurricular activities.
No, and I think sophomore year was the one where I skipped it because I remember being sad I didn't have a band. And then junior year is when we did our Stephen Lynch D&D rendition and crushed it.
That's on YouTube.
Yep.
Still. What's your old YouTube
Napoleon
channel?
Z. Bean.
Napoleon Z. Bean.
Napoleon Z. Bean.
What is that?
Like Z-E Bean?
Z-E Bean.
Okay.
Z-E-E.
Z-E-E Bean.
E-E, yeah.
Z Echo Echo.
Yeah. Nepolian.
Got a couple hundred.
If people can't figure out how to fucking autocorrect Napoleon by now,
okay,
they still have a cricket phone.
No, it's spelled different than because I didn't know how to spell Napoleon back then.
Okay, never
So I
mind.
just enunciated it.
Fuck.
I'm like Nepol, Nepal. I'm like it works.
You fucking
Neapolitan.
Yeah, I was gonna say you fucking hooked on phonics it. Jesus.
Oh, Richard hits me up just to learn how to spell a word.
Yep. That's Google.
Autocorrect.
I still have yet to gift you a dictionary.
Do it.
I will.
Do it.
Next time.
Do it, pussy.
Just make sure.
All right, now with
make sure
Dalton-
this dictionary has a cutout in the middle of it of a fucking dildo.
I'll take one for the team here and
We know.
let Dalton. Fell into that one.
Well,
Pegged me there. You got me. Got me
Not-
good. Strap that one on.
oh Jesus, dude.
Prepare to dock.
Anyway, so Dalton seemed really
Yes.
stoked about telling the really excruciating, horrible bombing story that he on my end, but for his night, it was his golden
Yeah, so
moment.
I thought
I'll
you
let
were I thought you were going to bring up the time that you bombed and I learned that I might have some skills in stand-up comedy. So I think it was just after our junior year, we went up to the person who runs the talent show and you and I were like, okay, we need to co-host the talent show together that night. And we went up to them at the beginning of our senior
You guys
year.
need an MC? How about two?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, like we locked it down like on the first day of our senior year.
Yeah.
And so that whole year we were just preparing for it. By that I mean we zoned out and then forgot that we had to prepare for it until the week before.
Okay.
But
so you did a Ryan Seacrest. Got it.
Yeah, I started writing just a bunch of skits for us to do in between the shows, and like this taught me a lot about like preparation and putting together a show essentially.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of preparation that went into that, and Richard was just coming off of a high of turning 18 and finally being able to go to Comedy on State,
As well as getting off a high.
Yeah.
From the bong hit he
Yep.
just took.
Dude, literally that was part of it. I smoked I smoked that fucking fake weed shit too. The day of the
Oh, the
talent
synth
show.
weed?
So yeah, I was spacey as a motherfucker. It was not a good night. But yeah, keep going.
I was definitely there were a lot of moments where I was going backstage in between acts. Like our opening was fucking perfect. We
we nailed it.
I wrote a song to the tune of Real Men of Genius that I think it was a Miller campaign ad.
Yeah.
Real man of genius.
Yeah, and
Way to
I
go,
wrote,
Bob. You fucking put your beer can in your apron at the barbecue pit.
Yeah, and like I essentially did that, but about like stand-up acts and shit, or talent shows, and like that went super well. And then as the show went on, I would periodically go backstage like, hey, Richard, it's your turn to bring on the next act. And he'd be like, dude, I'm hyperventilating right now. He'd be like
Stage
pacing.
fright.
He was
Dalton
pacing back
tried-
and forth trying to remember his act.
Yeah, I was so focused on and the thing is, I kept fucking missing everything. Every kind of like joke was not landing. Like nothing was. I don't know. You were just doing so much better. Like you tried to push me on stage. You tried, but like towards the end, like the last acts, I was pretty much like, Dalton, just fucking don't let me. Stop making me go out there. Like
I let him.
he's trying
announce,
to do a Rocky moment where he's like, "You're gonna pull it together," and I'm like, "I'm not pulling it together, dude. Just pull the fucking cord."
I'm freaking out. Just do it.
Yeah.
I let him announce the winner of the night, and he mispronounced her name.
Ow.
The grammar Nazi.
The Fifis.
The grammar Nazi
Gotta
wins.
put him back. The horror.
But yeah, and I ended up doing fucking awesome. And actually, I used to write these lists based on like a topic, and I wrote a list of 100 things that stress me out, and I read that on stage.
Number 1, Mom.
And like a lot of it was, contemporary shit like Twilight and Jersey Shore. So obviously I can't use that anymore.
Really.
No, Jersey Shore though is still kicking.
Yeah.
They're still
They
fighting
got
for every last.
Yeah, they came back together. I'm waiting for a new Karate Kid movie to come out.
Oh
I
my
can't.
god!
We'll have this bit from 2009. That would be great.
Oh God. But
Instead of Smith, it's going to be Jaleel White. No,
I mean,
no, okay, no. Urkel.
do we have an Urkel Wellness Watch? I don't know how
Not
Jaleel
yet.
White's doing now.
He's actually quite successful.
oh,
He is like
Slinging dick, bro.
dude. Even as Urkel,
I mean,
he was
All those
slinging
like
dick.
nerdy kid stars always grow up to be fucking beefcakes.
He wasn't nerdy as a kid.
Urkel?
He played a nerdy
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, that's what I'm
And they
saying.
got
do you
typecast.
do you remember Stefan Urkel?
That dude.
His evil clone of himself, totally hot Jaleel White.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Essentially, Urkel is dead, and Jaleel White killed Urkel, and it's Stefan
Oh,
instead of Stephen Urkel.
is this
Yeah.
like a fanfic? Is that
No,
like,
this is
No,
a
this
legit.
was in the show.
This is canon.
This is Family Matters canon.
Because
Oh.
he wanted Laura to love him. So how do you get Laura to love you? You do the Nutty Professor, like fucking Eddie Murphy version of Nutty Professor.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Except this time it was a nerd and brought into that.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
But so I didn't take a whole lot of that into a whole lot of my
We
list
just lost
into
half our audience. 5 people are listening now.
fuck Steve Urkel.
Yeah, fucking Steve Urkel.
Going
Fuck,
down
okay, boomer.
Going down by 5 every.
It's 2
episode we
millennials and a
release.
boomer. Fuck this shit.
I was on your side with Family Matters.
I don't care.
I know. I can see the son that you're trying to impress.
Where?
But so there wasn't a lot of material that I took from that list and turned into material that I use now. But there was one from there. It was the biggest laugh that I got out of that night. I made this comment that it would really stress me out if I had to be the window washer who has to clean Spider-Man's web off of buildings. And then I was like,
Sorry, the inner dork in me just wanted to correct the shit out of that. Go ahead, continue, please.
no, we can circle back to that.
Okay.
In a minute.
But even Richard knows this one.
Then it went off to, well, I mean, it could be worse if you had to clean up Spider-Man stuff. You know, you could have to clean up his bathroom, his bed sheets, his computer monitor.
I actually like that. That one I like.
But
I
so
do like that.
I
Needs
did-
a little panache. I like it though.
I took that one and I'm still doing it now, but I'm still workshopping kind of that part, but now I do this part where I pretend to be the window washer, like, hey, Spider-Man, what the fuck you doing? I just washed those.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
Yeah, but
I
you wanted to nerd
nope,
out on me?
Nope, not nerding out. Not nerding out. Totally sober and
Nerd
still
rage.
not nerd.
Were you going to bring
out?
up that Spider-Man's web shooters actually degrade over time?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It's an hour.
I know. And like,
It's an hour. I know these things. I don't know why.
well, and like, until like, and this was something that you and I talked about yesterday. I need to find kind of my niche crowd that really likes the things that I like to
Yeah,
talk
of
about. Like, I
course.
love talking about video games and superheroes and all that shit. But so right now, I'm just dealing with casual moviegoers who are like, oh, yeah, I know who Spider-Man is. I'd hate to have to clean that shit up, too.
Yeah.
I knew that it degrades over time, but you just got to prepare for people who
To be dumb, you got to cater to the lowest common denominator.
And, like, if someone does...
You like that, folks? I just said you got to fucking cater to the dumbest shit in the room.
Comedy.
Welcome to Bad Habits Network. That's Bad Habits Network.
Bravo, Alpha, Delta, Hotel, Alpha, Bravo, India, Tango, Sierra. I'm not going to go on.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
I'm going to applaud that, especially on Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah. Did you,
What?
you and I talked about a little gripe.
We
that
were
you had
talking.
with,
We were talking about the car ride. Still, I thought.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
You were like
I brought that up to relate
niche.
to my point. That's kind of over with. But
right. You want your fan base to be nerdy, like popular nerdy fucking video gamers.
Yeah.
Jeopardy smart.
Yeah. Like essentially, I want to cater to. A lot of the people that I want to cater to are the ones who
Twitch comedy.
watch like Twitch streams,
Yeah.
who pay attention to like Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye. All the whole
to your laddies.
Where's that like button in the face?
They wear cloak, fucking clothing line. Yeah, we get it.
Fucking, I got hooked on Jacksepticeye when he did his playthrough of Undertale.
Oh Jesus! I enjoyed Markiplier's version of it because of Bubble Butt.
I'm gonna have to watch that one. Maybe not. I haven't been into watching any of those as much as I used to.
My kids. I didn't know about Let's Plays until my kids.
And like I don't even know what really. I think I was at a depressed point in my life, and I didn't
AKA
feel
last
like
week.
I didn't feel like playing any video games. I didn't feel like playing any video games, but I was like, man, I really just feel like watching a video game. And I really got into their personalities and all that shit. And like I would eventually like to do Let's Plays, but at the same time,
You've also done Let's Plays without doing a Let's Play.
yeah, they were just compilations of my Grand Theft Auto shit.
Folks, if you're listening at home, Richard has punched out.
Yeah, he's taken his
Super
headset out of the connection to the studio
Have I?
And put it
plugged
into his phone.
His phone.
And is watching Dragon Ball Z knowledge.
I'm watching those fucking, what are those things, that putty shit the kids are into?
Oh, jeez.
God.
That
ASMR.
scared me, dude. I saw my 8-year-old, and I can't judge an 8-year-old for having the internet. I barely had the internet then. Now they have phones. But I'm watching her watch some other kid's hands play with goo, and it's scaring the fuck out of me. I'm like, stop.
You're living by proxy?
I yelled at her. It's like a scared old person who's scared to change. I'm like, don't watch that. I'm like, I don't like it. It's freaking me out.
Yeah.
I actually do watch those videos.
ASMR shit. Yeah.
Well, like unboxings, people like just
Yeah.
playing with like a fucking like a toy like slime.
Okay.
One of my favorite channels is the King of Random.
Okay.
I love watching like science experiments and shit like that, and like homemade stuff.
Right,
And
right,
a lot of them they make like putty and shit, and they play with that, and I'm like,
Fuck yeah.
lit.
Yeah, there's your target audience, 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
You're in the
I suppose.
You're just
dip
gonna have
into
to-
that market.
You're just gonna have to hit that wall with them.
dip,
God.
you got to branch out,
I was thinking, one of my old coworkers, he was he brought his son to work, and he was like, "Here, let me show you what my son watches whenever he comes in here." And he was showing me like this video that this dude puts out for kids. Like he rented out like a toy playhouse to just go in there and play with everything. This fucking 30-year-old dude, and this dude has like almost billions of views. This dude makes like, we did the calculation, he makes like $3 or $4 million per video.
Yep.
And
That's
that
in
is
there.
the market that you have to break into if you like.
Well, yeah, fucking they've been doing it since Howdy Doody time.
Tell me, Dalton, have
They've
you
been fucking catering to the kids.
have you come across people like this? And they're always skeptical, and I really want to be as open-minded and understanding as possible. But do you have those people that come up to you and they're like, "Hey, I know how to run social media. I can get you 20,000 followers." You ever run into those? Like, I know marketing. I have the
Lavin?
marketing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we know Lavin. Yeah, we know Lavin.
Yeah. But like, dude, there's people like that all the time, and I'm like, dude, I just want to worry about having a good product at first. Like, I don't.
Yeah, like that's all that I'm worried
Hone-
about. Like putting
hone
out
what
shit
you're
that's
selling.
interesting.
Yeah,
and like I wanna put out content that like I'm proud that I put that into the world. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I put part of me into that video.
Jump into it. Think character development.
That's fair. Well, and like even just jumping into hosting a podcast, I'm gaining knowledge with this now, and yeah, I mean, I even thought about doing like mock unboxings, like just creating this persona that just doesn't know how to do.
unboxings.
Or you just put
Boxing
stuff in a box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got this awesome phone here. I'd love to play with it, but I'm gonna put it in the box now. I
What's
got a
in
Scotch
the
tape.
box?
But it's like the first episode is a pair of scissors that I had to open for my
Yep.
unboxing videos, and I pull out a pair of scissors
to open the pair of fucking scissors.
yeah,
Things that really fucking agitate the shit out of me.
and like
I need a fucking pair of scissors to open a goddamn box for a knife.
and then
Fuck!
another video. I'd order preparation H, and I'd try it like
Do not
Off
take
camera.
orally.
off camera.
But you'll be able to whistle like a motherfucker.
But like I want to figure out like what kind of personality I want to put out there, and
Not like in the near beer.
Near beer?
I actually really like that.
Yeah, this is actually pretty good.
Can I get another one of those,
Is
please?
it weird that I feel like more of an alcoholic drinking non-alcoholic beer?
Like an 80s dad at a fucking picnic with his kid.
Yeah, just like, I need it.
Is this
I need-
pop off or?
Need the
Yeah,
taste.
No, you're good. Thank you.
The giant fucking hatchet of a can opener we got here. It's like if he's about to like get robbed or get like invaded by zombies or something.
This is like one that you keep on your
That's the one
your
I can't
grilling belt.
I can't lose this fucking bottle opener ever.
How could you lose that? Fucking...
But no, there's a little side note in the studio, kind of a weird dichotomy, if you will, going on in the studio lately. Dalton wanted to try doing a sober show.
Yeah.
So here's the irony: we're doing CBD joints and non-alcoholic beer.
Yep.
Fourth wall for you, folks.
And I'm hungover.
And Richard's nursing a hangover from yesterday.
everything is fucking fake.
and he's getting mad. Richard's actually not happy.
Rich is like
I'm
Chris
happy.
Farley in
What
that
do you mean?
SNL bit where they actually put like artificial flavoring in his coffee, and he just tears apart the restaurant. I'm picturing that with Richard. You mean this is CBD and not THC?
Not THC.
This is a joint without being a joint.
This is a jazz cigarette, but you turn the volume down.
Jazz cigarette. Oh my god.
I don't remember where I heard jazz cigarette. but that
Probably
is
my
favorite.
grandma.
I'd assume probably Pete Holmes or some shit.
Love Pete Holmes.
Gary, there was something that
Sorry,
I wanted
I'm
to
sorry.
circle back to.
Yes, this moment of silence brought to you in part by a sip.
Well, I mean,
Heineken Double Zero.
it's convenient
Not
because
endorsed.
I wanted to get onto a different topic or go back to a previous topic because
Okay.
I don't feel like we address you enough in our discussions.
That's because I take it over.
Well, you're welcome to be part of this discussion. Earlier, I was talking about like what I'm looking for out of comedy, and I know that you had an interest in comedy
Stint.
in your history.
That's it. It was just a small stint, dude.
Well, I mean, what got you into it?
The love of it, man.
The love of it?
Yeah, I was a huge comedy fan. I was also that kid who was bullied, so to not get bullied, I'd make people laugh. But my problem is, my make people laugh was evil.
Yeah.
I turned into a ball buster, a legit ball buster, the moment I hit like 8th grade.
Okay.
And it just happened, and I don't know what inspired me to be a ball buster. I think conspiracy theories or calling out the hypocriticisms of the school system or whatever. But I was always a fan of shit like Three Stooges. I was a fan of, ironically, Martin and Lewis. I loved Martin and Lewis.
So, like, it wasn't just stand-up then. It was, also, like,
Also, yes,
Sketch humor.
laughing,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, and then
Okay.
Mork and Mindy, and then I started following Robin Williams on a legit basis, and then I seen interviews with Robin Williams, and then I was also a huge Say Goodnight Gracie fan. I was a big George Burns fan, ironically as a kid, because my parents accidentally waited till they were 30 for my coming of this onto this planet.
Okay.
I was the accident of the family. So,
Samesies.
So, legit accident. My brothers are at least 11 and 14 years older than I.
Well, I was supposed to be a girl, so that's why they had a girl after me.
Understood. And I got to learn a generation's humor before me, while growing up with my generation's humor, and then my parents' generation of humor. So I had a full spectrum from like all the way to from the 1940s, 1950s, all the way to 1990s.
Okay.
I'm a kid of the 80s, folks.
Yeah, so you were kind of able to pick and choose what you liked and form that to your own personality.
Yeah,
I like that.
There's a lot of I learned like through Winters. Fucking cannot remember. There's two fat guys that I always found endearing when it came to comedy, Dom DeLuise and Jonathan Winters.
Okay.
And then I found out Robin Williams was a Jonathan Winters fucking protege.
Okay.
I got into the improving just by saying, "Oh, look at this bottle," or take two and do the whole Mrs. Doubtfire job interview skit where he just fucking improv that whole scene.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and the art form of comedy, the fact that you had the science even of comedy is what I fell in love with. And then,
like I love movies like Mrs. Doubtfire, where in the production process they gave those little parts of the film to let the actor indulge themselves in their own talents, you know, and like that could even be I think I saw it in some video brought up A Series of Unfortunate Events, the one with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, the blooper reel.
Essentially, that whole movie was Jim Carrey doing improv and just entertaining himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. A lot of scenes in Superbad, too. I used to love that movie.
Fucking McLovin.
Well, like, what I love about that whole crew is it's just so much improv, so much riffing. Like the part from 40-Year-Old Virgin where they're waxing Steve Carell. They wrote down a list of things for him to say, and actually Seth Rogen wrote all this. He wrote a dirty list and a clean list. And
Kelly Clarkson's what took. Wow.
Yeah. And I think it was the GQ interview that he did where he just broke down all of his previous roles. He was watching American Idol and he was like, Kelly Clarkson. And that's the one that made it into the fucking movie. But I cut you off, Richard.
Oh, do you think I remember? That was like 3 minutes ago.
You were bringing up Superbad.
Oh yeah. I'd watch that front to back, and there were so many like bloopers where it was like, this is just as good and should have been in the movie too, but you can't redo the same scene 5 times in a row.
Or
like Jonah Hill and stuff like that, like just firing from the hip.
Or comparatively, the Super Trooper bloopers.
Yeah, Super Trooper bloopers.
Try saying that while you're fucking inebriated.
Super Trooper bloopers.
Well, we're not.
Yes, thank you. Per your request.
So, Gary,
none of us suffer alone.
Do you feel like your military experience has an impact on your humor?
That made a lot of my humor dark.
Yeah, you already had a pre-existing dark humor.
Yeah.
Right? And then...
I had a pre-existing condition before getting into the military. It was called dark humor.
Yep.
Whoa, holy blackface Batman.
Oh my god.
You know that's
real on the nose.
That's real culturally inappropriate, Rose.
She is beautifying herself for you son of a bitch. Damn straight. You be you, girl.
So if you guys are playing in at home, that was a cameo from Lady Hammer. She's doing a
foam mask that's supposed to expand. Can you come down in about like?
It's a charcoal mask, and yeah.
Is that one of those foam masks that expands over time?
No, it does not. No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No, no.
All right.
It's one of those.
God, I was gonna say you should come back in like 2 minutes.
Me? Oh, thank you. I was on a river.
Okay, baby.
Well, I mean, he is
live.
Mexican.
We're live.
Oh yeah.
Either get on a mic or do what you're doing.
It's good to see you again, Rose. Thank you for welcoming me into your home.
And the chicken nuggets from last week.
Oh, the chicken nuggets.
The chicken nuggets.
Just to piss off
Oh,
Richard.
Richard's giving me the stink eye.
Hashtag triggered.
Those are fighting words, man.
Man.
Those are fighting words.
He was looking at me with widescreen, but now he's looking at me full screen. His eyes open.
You woke me up, man. I was about to go to bed.
Now
and you
ring
said
the bell.
that.
Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, I boated, and I've never felt more Midwestern than boating. It's just literally you're on a boat, and other people are on boats, and they drive by, and everyone waves at each other. And I
What
always,
kind of? Oh yeah, you were on a kayak.
no, I was on a kayak Saturday, and then Sunday I was on an actual boat. Like
Wait, so when did you drop your phone into the water?
a Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, it fried my phone, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna just be off the grid for a while. It was a combination of zen and panic all the time. It was
Well, and one of our friends texted me this morning in basically a state of panic, and I think I said this at the top of the episode. He essentially asked me to check in on you, and he was talking it up like I was going to walk in on you with a belt around your neck and your dick hanging out.
That is possible. That is actually a really good chance at any moment.
I wouldn't put it past you to try.
I make sure to lock my door. I really do.
Shit, where was I going to go with this? Yeah, no, you do go off the grid a lot like this, so that's why I didn't panic, and I was like, oh yeah, no, he does this. You'll
Every
you'll
now
give
and
up on
then.
social media for a minute. I was upset that Stu the plant didn't check in, so you're gonna have to
No,
look into getting
yeah.
like a proxy to join that account to
I
at
know.
least post for.
My
I got
apologies
you.
for the lack of posting. My manager, a.k.a. Richie Garcia.
Yeah, his media guy. I got
Richard
him.
took my phone away, and he is such a dick.
He's a fucking dick.
He was
This
watering.
house is a prison.
He was watering me mid-tweet.
Mid-tweet.
And he forgot phones and water don't mix.
Left me in the fucking rain. I'm scared about the birds, though. I should be fine, but the pigeons.
It's the
make me
squirrels you got to
nervous.
worry about. Squirrels
No,
and chipmunks.
EPA fucking replaced the batteries. They're fine. We
Oh,
won't have
okay.
another
Good,
COVID situation
good.
for
I'm
another
glad.
few years.
I'm glad that happened.
EPA!
Yeah, that is why Wisconsin's opening up. We were at the top of the list for the states to get the batteries replaced in the pigeons.
Oh, good.
New York is going to be last.
Oh, good. Fuck New York. Being big and shit in the center of every disaster movie.
But so Gary,
No, I was going to say New York's still waiting to change the batteries out of all the rats. Honestly, if you're doing something during the COVID-19 bullshit, the quarantine of 2020, please, New York, essential workers, exterminators. There's 2 rats per 1 person in that fucking per capita going on in
didn't
that
you hear they're
city.
3D printing that shit now?
No shit?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they got it all
Fuck.
fucking streamlined. There are no exterminators.
The rats have become aware. They were going to change it to RatNet instead of Skynet. We're fucked.
But Gary, I wanted to basically bring the conversation around, and I wanted to know, like, what was it that you were looking to get out of comedy? Were you looking at it in a similar way to me, or did you want to be,
I was
big,
looking
like-
to drown in puss.
Okay, that's fair.
No, I mean, honestly, let's look at it canonically. Every guy at the age of like 16 to 25, what's the first thing that you think about when you wake up? Dalton, I know it's going to be food for you, but I'm talking.
My titties don't lie.
I'm legit talking like you're full of hormones, and I was an alpha male. I was trained to be like alpha male, even though I was acting like a fucking beta. The main goal of is eat, sleep, fuck, fight.
Okay.
It's in that order. Eat, sleep, fuck, fight.
Okay, so you were just looking at it kind of like just as a hierarchy of needs.
Essentially, and then
Okay.
I've always been I was really good with the voices. I could do impressions, and I had this whole bit where it was like, I'm banging my girlfriend from behind, and I was like, "Yeah, tell me who's your daddy and what do I do?" And fucking shit like that.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your
and
daddy? What does he do?
do?
And just nailing it. And and what really kicked me into it was the fact that after 9/11, I made a Jenga joke.
Oh God.
And it was so horrifically dark funny that when I had to stand in front of the commander of my fucking whole facility, the head motherfucker in charge, and he goes, Oh, I'll fucking bite. What the fuck is so funny? I want to hear what you're in here for. What got you in here? Exactly, you will tell me and do exactly what you did to make people send you to my goddamn fucking office and waste my fucking time.
So you were doing this simultaneously then?
I did it, and wasn't aware of my surroundings.
Yep.
And one of my head motherfuckers in charge for the day caught it and marched me straight to the commander's office because 9/11's a joke, huh? How about you tell this shit to the commander? All right. I had to do it to the commander. The commander insisted because I was wasting his fucking time with this fucking bullshit in a wartime situation. Hit me. I want to hear this. And I did it word for fucking word.
Yeah.
Impression for fucking impression. And I was like, no, from Pakistani brothers. It's called jet plane jinga. Now for special time only. The cherry bomb insertion pain. And you take the plane, you put it in, you light the cherry bomb, but don't get too close. And he fucking snickered and said, get the fuck out of my office, because I broke him.
Holy shit, that took a whole different direction than I was expecting.
Well, I was like, fuck it. It started out as, yeah, we're fucking ready to go to war. We're fucking ready. We had our shit fucking ready to retaliate. And these cocksuckers are celebrating in the street going, yes, no from Pakistani brothers, jet plane jinga. And fucking, I got in so much fucking trouble for that shit.
Yeah.
There was a lot at my first duty station I got in a lot of trouble for, but
Danger.
I don't even think anyone I worked with knew that I skied off to a good 2-hour trip away, except for maybe a handful of people, and hit a casino and do their a casino had an open mic.
That sounds amazing or horrific.
It was amazingly horrific, because if you can do a bit to make a motherfucker turn away from his one-armed bandit, you did something.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the attention. I heard Dave Chappelle used to do like improv in the streets. In fucking New York, dude, right? Is that where he's from, New York?
I don't know. I know another one.
God, I feel like I should know where Chappelle's from. I swear he's from New York.
This IMDb break brought to you by...
Yeah, no
IMDb
shit. Well,
break.
because I'm going to bring up a new point here in a minute, because there was another one. He was an O&A regular. And I cannot recall this guy. They called him Horseface.
But to do stand up on the street, especially like a rough crowd, you have to be so on your feet and like so good to do that. I'd imagine. Like, imagine we went to State Street and we just started talking. People.
He was born in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, that's where he started his career. Never mind. Doesn't say. Keep going.
Strange.
Voss. Damn it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. He was born in Washington, District of Columbia. CBD.
Just CBD.
Oh God, is that how I smell like all the time?
Anywho, you were telling your story.
Where was I? You got to work with me.
Improv in the streets.
Improv in the streets. Oh yeah.
Improv in the streets. Stand up in the sheets.
Stand up in the sheets. But yeah, I would say getting laid is motivation for most. Well, what is comedy? Comedy is a group of niche, weird people that want to be respected and find their own.
Yep.
So like, one of the bartenders said, "Richard, you need hotter comic friends." Right? And I was like, listen, you don't know why we get into comedy, do you? Like, if no one who looks good and is super talented and fucking really feels good about themselves is like, you know what? I'm going to go on stage and talk about my dick. I'm going to drive 2 hours to another city full of strangers for 4 minutes and then drive 2 hours back just to tell a story about me shitting myself. Like, no one who feels good about them is going to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think fucking Wisconsin's own van down by the river did it because he was good looking? No.
Dude, you gotta earn
He did it as a survival tactic and to get more money for the buffet and drugs.
Yeah.
Ironically, my tactic is I kind of have a fuckboy style a little bit. Like,
Yeah, your buttons on your shirt are telling us that.
yeah, dude, straight up. Popping out, man.
I did a couple push-ups before I came in here.
Oh, they are popped out, dude. I feel like a fucking T-Rex right now with this shit. I miss my quarantine.
You look
clothes.
like a chubby fucking Terry Crews.
A skinny fat Terry Crews. Like, dude, these man tits kind of look like pecs if you get a shirt tightened up.
Proof.
Dude, I had to look at my fucking brown Ron Jeremy looking ass. All fucking look at that.
Oh, we all got the
Oh, look at
quarantine
that. He's got a
gut.
paunch.
I know, dude, and it's funny because I have abs under it, but when I flex, it's just fat, so it looks like a pack of Hawaiian sweet rolls. It's just like chunky abs. I don't get it.
I like
It's
that.
rough.
I mean, I've
like
lived with
that.
them for 26 years.
The fatter I get, the happier everyone around me gets. I always notice that when I have weight gaining stories. Everyone's always stoked to hear about it. Oh, you failed. You got bumped up in that jiu-jitsu tournament because you gained 15 pounds in 3 weeks. So yeah,
I always
that's
dude. No,
because-
I smile because it's giving you a challenge. I like to see people go through challenges.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously not happy with that Hawaiian sweet roll.
no.
I'm looking forward to seeing your development in the next coming fucking weeks.
I'm gonna shed it, and everyone's gonna be fucking like animals when the bar's open anyway. So I'm not really too worried about it. God, it's gonna be bad. Have you
I
been
was
to the
thinking
bars?
I've honestly thought about canceling the show tonight to go to a bar
Oh, really?
because I want to go to one.
It's different. It depends on the day. So like the weekdays, like the first days where like people were like walking out of their house and like wandering in bars, like the vibe was weird because it's just you just had like some
Everyone was socially
stragglers.
awkward.
Yeah, it was just fucking old bar rats, pretty much. Like, and then when I went on the river, those fucking river bars were like packed. They were all packed. And I tell you what, I love being the token minority in a sea of like 150 white people.
Oh yeah, on a river.
On a river.
Yeah, because Wisconsin's famous for white folks fishing and just lazy river in it.
Yep, that's what it is.
That's a precursor to white trash wasted.
I felt like Dances with Wolves. I went into their boating community and I was one with
we
them.
would call him peeing in stream.
Peeing in stream. There's a technique to peeing and swimming. If you just use the top half to swim, you can relax with the bottom half. And everyone's doing it, man.
Can
Everyone.
we change it to peeing downstream? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Pees downstream.
One who pees downstream.
One who pees downstream.
It's Algonquin for one who pees downstream.
Rather, it
One
just
who
doesn't make.
pees in our drinking water.
Why would you pee upstream though?
Just like the blind man said as he pissed in the wind. It's all coming back to me.
It's all coming back to me.
Let that sink in for a second, folks.
No, the CBD
the-
joint is kicking in, and I'm feeling a nappy nap coming on.
Well, if you look at this pamphlet,
Yeah.
the pamphlet says a side effect may be fatigue and hunger, or fatigue and hunger have been reported. No shit, really.
Well, these studies for CBD as well as like the studies of CBD have also benefited like cancer patients, patients who are going through cancer treatments like chemo and shit like that, because chemo really it's poisoning your system. You don't want to eat.
Yeah.
So the hunger right there, boom, CBD, let's go.
Oh yeah.
And then there's fucking thousands of things like with epilepsy in children and shit like that, or epilepsy in adults.
I actually I did a report on that at my first try at college, and I learned about the benefits of CBD and epilepsy.
You said first try. My apologies.
My first try at college. I'm in my second attempt right now.
Oh, okay.
Passed all my classes this semester, so
Good
now
for
I'm on
you.
summer break. It's only 2 classes, but one of them was math, and I got an A.
Okay.
I feel like I'm just telling my grades to my parents right now.
Yeah.
Can we put my report card on the refrigerator?
It's good. Yeah.
I was about to.
There's me
I was
slapping it
about
on
to
the
say
refrigerator,
that's-
fucker.
I have a note on here that says Smell-O-Vision and Rugrats.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about
Rugrats 4D movie. That was the
You're-
last time.
You said something about smell-o-vision. I was like, 4D, smell-o-vision. And then fucking
And then
somebody actually, I didn't know this. Somebody actually did it, and you were educating me on that.
Oh yeah.
Because I thought it was just a good Simpsons joke.
Well, the last time that I heard about Smell-O-Vision, they did it for the Rugrats Wild Thornberrys movie, and Burger King did this like partnership where whenever like a certain indication showed up in the movie theater, you would get this scratch and sniff card, and so it would show like what icon to scratch and sniff, and like there was a cheeseburger, there was smelly feet, and like all these different fucking things. It was like Bertie Blott's every flavored beans.
Oh fuck!
Essentially,
the jelly bean challenge, maybe.
Essentially, yeah.
Ugh.
It was a similar thing. There were sweet smells and disgusting smells,
Yeah.
and you were supposed to go into the movie theater, and a prompt would show up on the screen like, "Hey kids, if you ate from Burger King, got your scratch and sniff card, you can smell what Phil and Lil are smelling."
That sounds like such a horrible idea.
But yeah, that's the last time.
There was
that
a smell phase. Did you remember the fart gun? I wanted that.
I mean,
so
the
bad.
one from Despicable Me.
No, there was this gun in grade school, and I know why my parents didn't give me this stupid fucking gun, but it was a gun that you could shoot farts at people. It was like an air gun. It was like a plastic, like a Nerf gun that launched shit that smelled, and like you'd have to be the biggest piece of shit, dude. That's something like I would give a niece or nephew as a present.
I did just see this video that I think Gary shared it actually. It was like this Russian couple. This guy farted into like a Ziploc bag.
I shared that on the SFTB secret group page.
Okay, so I am on it. So he farted into this bag, sealed it up, and he went up to his girlfriend or wife and was like, "Hey, bite this." And she bit the bag, and it broke in her mouth, and she tasted the fart.
Oh my god! Yeah, you can do that. You can fart in a jar and save it. My brother did that when he was young. He'd fart.
You told me about this. Did he ever open it?
Yeah, dude. He would just do. It was just a trick you could do. You could just capture a fart, and it would just hangs in there until you open it. And
Like Link captures fairies in the Legend
pretty
of Zelda.
much, dude. Collecting farts, man. Imagine.
Hey, listen.
I like to. There's a part of your brain that is attached to smells, and sometimes I just like to remember what I was experiencing in my life at that time. So I fart in a jar, and it's like a smell-o-vision time capsule. You open it up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I was dating Bethany."
That's a Bethany.
King Walk, I remember.
Oh yes.
Okay, terrific.
But I mean, I suppose this is what we're talking.
You are right. There is a quote unquote muscle memory connotation to smell, like or hearing, or like you hear a song that was going on in the background while you got news that your grandfather died, and then it's like, oh shit, and you hear it 5 years later just randomly in nowhere, and then all of a sudden you get those fucking connotations of feelings of when you were walking through that. So like if you were smelling daisies while you were getting a blowjob, every time you fucking smell a daisy again, just out of nowhere you get a boner.
Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah, it's a Pavloving. Pavlov.
You know, every time
fucking thing.
Every time you rung the bell, he got a boner. That's how it works.
If you want to really break it down, the olfactory sensor in the brain, which is the part of the brain that processes smell,
Thank you.
is attached to the same part of the brain that deals with memory. So that's why smells will bring you, like food. It's a primal thing for mammals because
food especially.
Yeah, mammals need to remember to eat and what eating is and what not to eat. So.
And the connotations of, yes, this is my favorite food because why? Or I'm sad, I want ice cream. Why? Because every time as a kid, ice cream would always make me feel better or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
That's why you're seeing all these chunky Karens evolve.
I just stress eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, I suppose I never talked about my bad habits. My bad habits are...
No, you did. No, I'm teasing. You did not yet. Further into the story.
A joke came up, and I'm wondering whether or not I should say it.
Dude, go for it.
I'm single now.
Go for it. If it's too
a
personal,
joke?
don't go for it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. Gotta edit the episode.
Okay.
Mulligan.
I just seen where that fucking wheelhouse was going. I'm like, shit, no.
Yeah. Fuck, where was I going?
Muscle memory, your bad habit.
My bad habits. I mean, fucking stress eating and compulsive shopping. Not really.
Such as?
I like to open up Amazon sometimes when I'm depressed and buy a little something for myself.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Richard just likes to open up the fucking baggie and put it in the bong.
Yeah. Grind it up. We got to grind it up first.
Of course.
Sometimes we leave like big nugs in the bottoms. It all doesn't fall
But I mean,
off.
speaking of bad habits, though, let's go around the room. Kind of like Thanksgiving.
What are you
What
fucking
are we,
bad habiting?
No, what are we? So, I mean, in terms of Monday Night COVID, it's not over because
we still
well,
have
the
yet
way
to go into a full open.
Yeah, and the way that I'm playing this is like, other people are going to go out into society tomorrow because,
Right.
The state's opening up, but I'm going
And
to
everyone's got to go back to fucking work.
but I'm unemployed. I'm going to give it 2 weeks just to see, where things are at, feel the waters. And that's kind of why I want to keep Monday Night COVID going. Also, I really want to
You really want to make Monday Night COVID episode 19.
Yeah. It'll be like a nice little epilogue before we go back into society and just, I don't know, start doing Turtle Donut takeovers.
Or COVID 20.
Or until I just figure out, what other kind of podcast I want to do. I want to go around the room and see what we're most excited to get back into with when society opens up. Richard, go.
I'll start. I'm just excited to get back to work. I'm excited to do stand-up. I'm just excited to normalize. I was definitely I used to think introverts were so annoying all the time. Like, they keep bringing up that they're a fucking introvert. It's annoying. Like, almost like a humble bragging kind of thing.
Well, I am kind of an introvert.
And then this locked... Oh, my God. Here you fucking go again. Am I draining your energy?
No, you're not. I'm
Why do you think we only do one per week?
Wow.
Got to recharge.
I need to go back. I need to go back into my fucking shell. My zodiac sign is a goddamn crab. I have to go back into my shell.
And then this fucking lockdown happened, and I went fucking insane just because I just miss people, man.
You're an extrovert.
And the thing is, I can be in the room with like my best friends, and I'm like, I love you, Dalton, but you're not like a crowd of 50 people who I don't know, and I'm trying to impress. That's what you got to provide me with a big group.
I just need to laugh at your jokes, and in order to do that, you got to get better.
Oh, God damn.
Burn!
Going hard. Hold on. Whoa! Stu the tomato plant. Time to give an update. How's he doing? He's fine.
We don't know. He's been dark the last 3
check
days.
His fucking phone. You son of a bitch, theater of the mind. Let's see how Stu the tomato plant's doing. He hasn't
kidding.
posted in 3 days. What's going on?
Sorry, you're flexing that hard. Really? You're gonna do that black shit on me?
I love that. I love that intro. Fucking, can you do that for me again? Stu the tomato plant. Let's see how he's doing.
See how he is.
But
Okay.
Anyway,
all right, what are
Wow,
you?
this
Anyway.
is what I feel like fucking mom just slapped dad.
Oh my God.
Richard and I argue like a married couple, man.
All the
Yeah.
All the time. That's how
I
you
am
know
for the
we-
throat
That's how you know we love each other.
because we're battling for our friendship.
Okay, terrific.
It's
Anyway.
Guy Love.
We know his guilty pleasure now.
It's you, bitch.
I know. That was the joke. All right, Gary, what are you excited about?
Bad Habits Networks are going to be open up to events. We got something in the mix. I can't exactly say too much because I did sign an NDA for it.
Oh, okay, fun. I like
Somebody's in the next Star
that.
Wars.
I like that.
I wish. No, I don't, because the next Star Wars is going to be horrendous. Unless it's season 2 of The Mandalorian. Then
I really didn't. I didn't care for the last 3 Star Wars movies. Like I liked The Force Awakens because of what it was building up. But
You notice how he's skirting the issue
what's up?
that Richard brought up?
What?
So what are you most happy
Oh,
about?
yeah,
for
what are you
the
opening up?
COVID,
I was going to come back to
the
it.
quarantine opening
I was going to
up.
come back to it. I was going to show off my newfound hosting skills where I can come back to a topic that I seem to have forgotten about. But yeah, if we don't want to hear about my Star Wars opinions, what I'm excited about.
I'm a Trekkie. I don't want to hear anything about Star Wars. It was hard enough for me to admit that I enjoyed The Mandalorian, okay?
Can we talk about the prequels?
So what's what? We'll give him a minute.
Can we talk about the prequels? No one wants to talk about the prequels. Even I know that.
I have positive memories attached to the prequels, and I'd like to leave them in my childhood.
Oh, the Natalie Portman boner?
Oh yeah.
That's my teenage years. I got a burp. What's Dalton excited for?
Burping.
All this non-alcoholic beer is getting to me.
Oh boy.
The truth is, I couldn't really care less. I've been really enjoying COVID and being locked in because, I am deeply an introvert. Like, yeah, I'd like to get back into, doing shows, but Fuck. What's up with this gesture? Richard's making a phallic gesture that is...
He's simulating blowing the air.
It is. It's funny how like this has affected people differently. Because me, I am like clawing for shit to go back to normal. I'm like, please, for the and you're just you fucking introverts in your golden age of the lockdown, being mentally healthy and shit. And I'm going on stage and making fucking Facebook pages of my goddamn tomato plant. That's where I'm at.
I just love it how Richard and I used to talk about, you know, who's the introvert, who's the extrovert.
Well,
and
obviously.
Well, Richard has always labeled himself as an introvert. Just,
Yeah.
you know,
I call bullshit on that.
The way he needs a break from people, that was his reason why. But the way you thrive on other people's affection, energy, how you seek that out, you're an extrovert 100%.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm just an extrovert that gets tired sometimes.
Absolutely natural.
100%. This is not just the CBD.
And me, it's like, you got to force me out of the house. And when you do...
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you get like scared, and then you'll say something wrong, and then it fucking dominoes. You'll get nervous. And it's like
I remember
relax.
one nervous comment that I made. It was literally the first time you and I started getting back into doing open mics when you started bringing me along to the Rockford crowd.
Yep.
Like I was still living in Madison at this point, still working at the post office, and we got into a car with Robert Luigi Parr, Brandon Cassidy, myself, you, and one other guy who was a part of our group. And we went on, we did this, we did the open mic, and when we were on the ride back, everybody was going back and forth, giving each other notes. And someone made like a comment, I think Brandon was saying something about you and Robert, talking about how saying you guys are like the funniest people I know. To that effect.
Yeah.
And then I go, dude, thank you so much. Nobody has ever said that about my comedy before. And it turned out he wasn't talking about me at all. And that's how I am around new people. That's why, like outside of doing a stand-up performance, I don't really enjoy talking to a lot of people after the show.
You usually, I can usually tell, like, if you land your jokes, you tend to be really good with people. But like, if your jokes don't land necessarily, it seems like you kind of shy away a little. But I don't blame you, because this is more of a recent mindset, because I used to hate the bar, and I'm like, why are we going to the bar? They're like, to talk to people. And I'm like, I don't need to talk to more people. I already know enough people. I'm like, I want to talk to you, and then I go to the bar with you, and you're talking to everyone else. That just didn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Welcome to the podcast where Dalton talks about how he doesn't really like people.
Yeah, he just hates people. You're more topical, though. I think that part of that's your introverted nature. And I think if someone came up to you and they're like, have you fucking seen this movie? You'd have no trouble talking to someone, right?
Yeah. I really have to be invested in the topic in order to feel like I'm giving like a good input on the conversation.
Have you ever thought of just trying to fish that out of people as a way of talking to them? Like just finding some kind of topic that you're just comfortable talking about?
What do you think I've been doing all goddamn episode?
Oh, goddamn day, I'm working on it. Fucking working
like
on it.
I wanna host my own show, and so these are skills that I have to acquire. I have to get better at bringing information out of people, finding topics, and including other people into a conversation, because usually in my history, I have a conversation with a person with the end goal of ending the conversation.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, dude, sometimes how do you wrap up a conversation? Me, as a bartender, it's easy. Usually I wrap up the conversation if they make me laugh, because then I can laugh and walk away. But there's always that, like, how do you... All right, did you have anything left to say before I end this?
And honestly, that's kind of
like
how I end a conversation.
Like a bad phone call.
Dude, you know what my favorite trick is? My favorite trick is you run into someone at the grocery store. Hey, Gary, blah, blah, how you doing? How are the kids? Hey, man, don't want to hold you up. I'll let you get back. Put it on them. Put it on them. Hey,
Okay.
sorry, I'll let you get back to doing your thing. And usually people just, like, agree. Then they feel guilty for taking your time.
Well, that, and it's also, even if they're smart enough to realize what you're doing, it's kind of the polite out.
Yeah. It's
like,
just,
well, hey, instead of fucking doing the Chevy Chase, looking at your watch that ain't there, and go, I got a thing.
yeah. Or that long hang at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like
Josh
sitting on the phone.
Sa.
Oh, here you go.
Josh Brumfung Sa and I, we've had more awkward conversations than we have had meaningful conversations.
Nice.
And I think I fucking Josh Bromfong, I consider him a friend, and I like the guy and I respect his comedy, and I loved having him on the show last time. But like early on in our friendship, when I was getting back into comedy, and like a lot of this can be attributed to the time that I spent at the post office, those 3 years that I really pushed myself into my shell. I was coming out of that and reintegrating myself into society, learning how to talk to people. But when because some advice that Robert gave us when we were going to open mics was like, talk to people after the show, talk to other comics. It's networking. Just getting connections.
Talk to Lavin.
And so like I would make my rounds.
Joke. Fuck.
I would make my rounds, and for some reason, I think it was like the first time I ever talked to Josh after an open mic, we just ended up with such a long, awkward pause at the end of it, and I think he and I both collectively put our hands in our pockets, looked at the ground, kicked one foot, and sighed.
Both at the same time.
Both at the same time.
Luigi'd each other.
Yeah.
It's so funny being like extroverted and seeing like how awkward some of the comics are. It's because I guarantee you, like Brandon Cassidy tells me stories like the one you said about being awkward in the car all the time. So
Oh,
it's
he
so
tells
funny.
that story?
No, not that one, but just
okay.
stories to that effect where he
Okay.
just shits bricks, just eats a fucking bag of dicks.
All Dalton and I did on that fucking trip for an hour there and an hour back was fucking talk.
There were little silences in between, but you
But
and
yeah,
I,
you had to eat.
You're already friends, though.
You had to eat.
And that won't stop him some of the times either.
This is true.
I was shoveling a. I was going to say shoving, but no, I was shoveling a chalupa in my mouth.
a triple lupa.
Triple lupa. Oh, those are so good.
I love the nacho cheese.
When we first started this little, when SFTB first started, it was actually you could call in, and to hang up on somebody, because you're talking about that awkward end and all that other stuff, so I wouldn't even let it get to that point.
Yep.
I would just go and be like, so hey Dalton, what was your favorite part of the show so far?
Oh, it was that. And then you turned off my microphone. I
turned off his microphone, and we just hang up on the person.
Yep.
Oh shit, we lost connection with him. I guess we're gonna have to find.
We
out.
had one guy call back 3 different times,
Son of a bitch.
thinking
Son
that
of
it
a
was.
bitch.
We're just sitting there laughing, going, "Now I want to see how many times we can do this to him." And it was actually an old Jim Norton bit when he was on O&A.
Okay.
They'd be like, "Hey, what was your favorite part of the show?" Click.
That's always a good way to do it.
I always loved it, and I would always do that to. Oh, here we go again, throwing him under the bus. Nick Lynch. I would always do that, and he'd be like, "Hey Nick, yeah, what was your favorite part about that episode?" And then I'd hang up on him. He'd fucking text me right away. You son of a fucking bitch! Did it to him in person,
God, like fucking
face to face.
I didn't know Nick Lynch personally, but as we've been talking about him more and more, and
Okay.
like I've seen Facebook pictures of him, I recognize the guy, and like I remember seeing him performing at Comedy on State, but like I never pictured him to be the punching bag.
Oh, he was my punching bag when we were kids. I found out. I don't remember too much of my childhood. He does. I think that's why he got into comedy. But no, I did it to him in person. Rob and I went up to see a stand-up. We went to a weird-ass bar afterwards because Comedy on State does not do a after-hours hang
I
or
have a feeling
after-show
that
hang.
I know the story you're about to tell, but go on.
We were in a parking bullshit thing, and he went to say goodbye to us. We pull up the car, and then he's 2 rows away. I go, and Rob rolls down his window. I was like, dude, let's do this. He goes, oh, you thinking what I'm thinking, huh? I'm like, yeah. Nick, come here. We got some. And we just, as he started running to us, we took off. He realized at the moment the car went forward, he stops running. You goddamn cocksucking son of a bitches! Fucking walks back into the bar, texts me, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And Rob and I are just crying, laughing for 45 minutes on the way home.
Jesus fuck.
We would do that so much to him. It's just, I love the guy. He's a lot of the greatness that inspires this shit.
Sometimes you just got to punch down, I guess.
It's punching up. He's better than me.
Oh, okay. All
I
right,
view
that's
him
fair.
as better than me, so I'm always going to punch at him.
Okay. All right.
At least comedically, he's better than me. Jesus.
All right.
That being said, I suck.
Richard, what do you got in your notes?
5 minutes left.
All I got is
No, 2.
2.
is a fuckboy story.
Red light.
Is a fuckboy story.
Somebody's flicking the red light at us. How much do you guys miss that? That was the question I had for y'all.
What?
How much do you miss the red light right now? The last 3 months.
The like the light?
Yeah.
Like the wrap-up light?
Yeah, the wrap-up
yeah.
light. I'm sorry, I call it the red light.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Most of the time, it's just someone with a cell phone and a flashlight.
Yeah, I'm gonna just wave it. Yeah, I miss it, dude. I miss bombing. I miss hearing my voice in a microphone on stage. I miss writing. I miss it all, man. I miss it all.
Gotcha.
Super
But
stoked about,
I do just want to, say thanks to Lake Country Botanics.
I almost fucking hit the mic. Fucking cut off on that.
oh my
No,
god.
I want to say thanks to Lake Country Botanics for giving us these CBD joints to try on the show. I'm gonna have a good long hard nap after the show.
I'm just going to sit out in front of the fucking fire here in a minute.
Oh, that's right. There's a bonfire going on
A little
outside.
bit. A little bit.
But yeah. Next week we have a special guest.
I'm listening.
RLP has agreed to come on the show.
That is cool.
Robert Luigi Parr. He's going to grace us with his presence. Do you know if he's going to be in person or is he calling in?
He should be in person.
Okay. All right. But yeah, that's something to look forward to. Monday Night COVID, episode 10. Hashtag 9 more to go. Richard, you got anything to plug?
No, man, just super stoked about the show next week. Super stoked to get out there again. You guys know all the good hookups, the Turtle Donut Comedy, Stu the Tomato Plant, Charizarded on Instagram, the works.
Yeah.
I want to thank the listener. I know I was fucking spacey as shit all day today. It's been a rough weekend.
So dare we say the CBD sobered you up
It
with the
did.
non-alcoholic beer?
Yep, exactly. You know you're
sons of bitches, I'm sober right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Feeling balanced.
Fuck, I'm gonna go do my taxes. Yeah, no, you can
Starting to acknowledge reality again. This sucks.
You can obviously find me at Turtle Donut Comedy on Facebook and Instagram. Betty White Wellness Watch. Welcome to Betty White Wellness Watch, the show within a show where we take a break from all the goofs and laughs and check in on the well-being of America's golden girl.
Oh, no theater of the mind here, folks. He's actually checking his phone.
Yeah, she's fine, guys. She's fine. Have you found out whether or not Stu the tomato plant's okay yet?
He's good. He's good.
Did you drop him in the water along with your phone?
He's good. He's playing Super Smash Bros. With the items on because it's more fun.
Jesus fucking Christ, you two.
All right,
I love this.
Gary, you got anything else to plug?
I've no more fucks to give. My fucks have run up dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy. I've no more fucks to give. No more fucks I've tried to get. I'm over my fuck budget and I'm now in fucking debt.